All right, we should be live soon. Let me just check this up. Meow, meow, meow. Gonna see what the chicken man's up to when you guys see me 2 minutes in the future. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. We are live. Right, meow. All right.
Dave,
Chicken man. What's going on?
how you doing, bud?
We are doing. I got to make sure. Okay, bracket set for my bot. Good to see you having a full day of casting. Thanks for making more time because I know it's
I'm so stoked, man. I'm so stoked.
Hells yeah.
All right. I think our bracket is ready to go. I'm gonna process it, but I might move some people around
Yeah, no doubt.
real quick here.
I've literally been pretty unrelentlessly unforgiving. At times I've literally just been like OSV and that's it. And nobody's complaining about it too much. But
Well, like I don't want Percival versus Max Packs first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't want them on the same. And then AniketosMavi is going to be cast on the other side for us, and he's going to get
Nice.
replays for us. So
Love it. All right. I'm gonna try this real quick. You think? Oh man, that's still not great. I might try to move. Where's a good place for Percival?
Percival, let's take a look here on how we're looking. Percival.
I think I'm gonna do one of these.
That'd be TVT. Nick Rack's gonna be cursing us out.
Oh no, that's Han Mono now.
Oh, but it's all right. Now, truthfully, I think everything's pretty. It's gonna be tough. We have Daniela on Denny Vix, or is it? Yeah, it is Daniela.
All right, what do we think? Percival versus Han Mono, round one.
Yeah.
Little TVT Korea action.
Oh,
We can hop
yeah.
over to Korea for it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You like the bracket? We good?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So we. Oh, Max Pax wants in. Oh, he is in.
Max Pax is in. He's in.
Oh, when is
He's in.
bracket
We got
final?
Max Pax.
Should we tell him it's live now?
Yeah. It's good
Okay.
right now. I just said it. Just set it live.
Wow. Max Pax has been showing up. Isn't it cool? Even with less money, I thought a lot of people wouldn't be showing, but I forgot to hit up Neeb. I don't know about Neeb though, but I'm sure he'll still come up. So don't worry. Hopefully we'll get him on a Sunday when you're available now.
Oh,
Chicken
hell
man.
yeah.
I know you'll
We'll get him.
Yeah. Oh, so let's go.
We'll get my man Neeb. You know, we get that upstate New York representation between the three of us.
Exactly. We get Neeb. Yeah, it'll be the plot twist. We got to shoot him a message. Dan Macko's here too. Thank you, Dan Macko, for making this tournament possible.
Yeah, hell yeah. Big shout out, Dan Macko.
Making a lot of these tournaments possible.
We love to see it. All right, do we want to hit up On Mono and Percival?
Yeah. I just hopped over to Korea. I can DM if you want to, can you do it there? Or?
Yeah, I'll hit him up here.
Han and Mono versus Percival. And you know what, Chicken Man? I'm a believer now, too, as I started out over time. I've been really enjoying the Korean TVT. And not just Korean TVT, just Korean Terran in general is so fucking cool. I'm like totally we're like in sync on that. Both Han, Mono, and Percival. Percival just started showing up to these a lot now, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's super sick. That's super sick. I still want to do a Korean tournament.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about it. And you mentioned if you end up having the time, and I'm trying to fix my hours, but maybe we should talk to just for like funding it and whatever. I'm sure if we put anything on, I'd be down, even if we're casting separately, whatever you want to do. I'm down to do a D-Gen Hours tournament, so maybe we should hit up SDC, though. You know what I'm saying? Get a little try.
Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, we got to get the SDC. I got to invite him down here. He can sit on my couch and cast. Let's go.
That would be sick. Honestly, I would love to see that. You and SDC IRL cast, like Sail and Steadfast.
Hell yeah.
That would be awesome. Hey, mate, well,
I'd be super down.
One day that's gonna happen for us. I could just see it. I didn't expect you to actually be off the ocean. You know, back off Gilligan's Island into the West Coast. So,
is Percival over there?
Yeah, Percival and I are over there. I don't see you guys. We could always go into ESL.
We're coming.
Yeah. Han Mono was a trip though. You missed some funny stuff though, like in King of the Hill, it was super late for Han Mono. He was up forever and he got ridiculously drunk. And he's like, come on, Geralt, can you just give me this? Cause you've already won all the money. It was just so funny.
I will tell you, Han Mono's not super stoked on playing a TVT, and he just asked to be up against Geralt instead.
Yeah, he just messaged me, Shabal, I'm Protoss killer, oof. At least it's not Max Packs.
Oh man.
Hi everybody.
I love Han Mono. Han Mono's fantastic.
He really is. Geralt actually was laughing after. He's like, to be honest, he goes, I don't really like him. He's really funny.
Yeah. He's got the bants. We like that. We're big fans of the bants here.
Yeah, actually, Han Mono corrected me. I go, at least it's not Max Packs. But he goes, Max Packs is easy. You saw me versus Max Packs 2-1, and he did 2-1 Max Packs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Chicken Man, how does it make you feel that our tournaments, like even you know, you'd been gone for a bit, the results of our tournaments going through actually affected standings that never, they like StarCraft's to a different point in time now that it actually affected Valencia. Like there were matchups that happened. They're like the only real data on it was from our tournaments. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty sick. I love that.
That's like. It feels good to me. Yeah, I was like, that's us, baby.
That's what we're here to do, you know? Mm-hmm. Make things happen that don't happen other places.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this. I bet you it literally wouldn't have happened otherwise. Or like, you know. Other than the fact that you were moving right then, there was only one disappointing thing. You know, we were just a hair from having Zest's last tournament being the ChickenmanSC Open.
Wow.
Like literally by hours.
That's wild.
I was like, oh, could you imagine? We like that would be like our names attached to that. The last tournament Zest plays in is the Chickenman Testa Open, but it's still, we had one of his last tournaments, so that's pretty cool. You know?
Yeah, it's super sick. I mean, I hate seeing Zest go, but I love it. I love that we have, you know, we got that's what we're doing here. We're doing good shit. I'm pretty stoked. I just realized Cock of the Walk got over $5,000 in prize pool total.
Damn, nice, dude.
Which is pretty nice. And Cristiano won his 30th Cock of the Walk. What a chat.
Well, Chicken Man, after we get started here, and I think it should only go without saying, you should do the honors here. This is...
All right. I got to warm myself up here as we get into game number 1 of the... there's a very long name for this tournament. I just combined the tournament names. So, this is game 1 of this TVT. We're on Korea. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner, we have the light blue Terran for Prep Esports, Hanmano, who chose light blue just to make this tough for us because he's upset. He's got to play a TVT. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner in the dark blue, it is Percival.
I decided to get jiggy with the camera today. Everybody's got their thing. I think I figured out my new, you know, player obs introduction.
Okay, so hit me with it. I'm gonna follow your camera.
All right, yeah, never mind. Let's just see here. Already, Hanmano, not disappointing. We're already up to some aggression, Chicken Man. I love it. First game of the day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, buddy. And yeah, Percival going for a scout at least, but.
Yeah, the SCV scout will be really nice to see what's going on, but those racks are almost done, and there are going to be some Reapers on the way.
Yeah,
yeah, it's got to be Reapers, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hanmano's
seen this in a while.
Everything.
It's Hanmano, so I was like, I don't know, could it be Marauders? It could be. It's Hanmano.
Yeah, he's certainly done it. Like, I've literally watched him over time pull just about it. He's been just about as cheeky as Special lately. Like, to a point where I think just before you were on a break, Special was even saying, "Yo, I'm taking that build." A couple builds he did. Special was impressed.
When we had Special on, I was casting Hanmano with Special.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I've never seen this before. I'm using this build." And I saw him use it like a week later. He popped that build out, the exact same build.
Yeah, oh, look at this. I love the boys pull with this, though, too, but...
Yeah, but this map has such a huge Reaper cliff. Hanmano's just going to sneak right in.
Well, did you notice what just happened? Percival actually shot his own SCV with the Reaper.
That's good. That is not ideal.
Yeah.
But loses just a couple SCVs. The factory is about to finish, so a Hellion can be on the way momentarily.
Yeah, we got a Hellion, and Hanmano's trying to... not fully commit this time to it.
It's just the 2 racks. This vintage 2018 Maru right here.
Interestingly enough, something funny we had for outcomes in tournaments, I believe it might have been the Psystorm Open. I can't remember if it was a Psystorm Open or... yeah, it was. We had Cuckoo versus Future, and Cuckoo was getting demolished. And he did 3 racks Reaper 3 games in a row. We were like, Florencio and I were casting, and we're like... there's no way, like, you know, we're like, sometimes the best cheese is the one that you keep doing because nobody does it. And it's like Cuckoo read our minds. He literally did it 3 times in a row and actually came back after he was down 2 games in the best of 5. But did ultimately lose the 3rd because he did, but it's pretty crazy, right?
That is some Maru level play right there. You won't be expecting the same exact cheese the 3rd game in the row.
Yeah.
That's actually Masa right there. That's what that is.
Yep.
He can't possibly do this 5 times in a row, right? Nope.
Exactly.
Nope, he certainly can.
Yeah, exactly. Maru and Masa, a very great point. Oh, look at these Reapers are just staying alive. John Travolta Reapers, Chicken Man.
Yeah, they're dancing over here.
And
But yeah, they're gonna grab a couple of supply depots. Ooh, he's gonna even try to dive in, but some Marines pop at a very opportune moment here for Percival.
oh, Percival's accidentally oh no, that's his barracks. Never mind.
Yeah, no. That's Hanmano's barracks. I know that's the problem with the colors here. The dark blue, light blue. I think Hanmano did that just to make casting hard for us.
Yep, this is
because
his revenge.
Upset.
Yeah, his revenge for not getting a Protoss in round 1.
Oh, all right, Cyclone v Cyclone. Hanmano gets the good lock on. Gonna have to pull back here from Percival.
Oh, that's sick micro from Hanmano, honestly, though. He's keeping this stuff alive, but he has to be careful.
Yeah, the high ground vision from the barracks is really nice, but that's not gonna last super long here. The barracks will finally fall. And that's pretty much the end of the... Oh, I say that, but you know what? There's a medevac.
Yeah, and Hanmano...
I still feel like Percival should be able to push this away, though.
He should, but the thing is, that medevac's... Oh, Hanmano's got to be careful of the Marines. But he gets a Cyclone. Okay.
Yeah, he gets the Cyclone at least. If we take a look at the trades, it's very similar. Extremely similar.
Yeah, they're even on workers. Hanmano's a little behind in his orbital. He's obviously behind an army, but yeah, Chicken Man, I'm pretty impressed with how Hanmano has been able to, you know, he didn't fully commit. It was just 2 racks, so. Wait, look at this. Are you seeing this? It's like even.
Yeah, this is a very even game right now.
Actually, Hanmano has the 3rd CC, finishing before Percival's.
There you go. Here you go, Hanmano putting himself in a good spot. Percival knows he's a little behind in that regard, though. He's got his 3rd CC on location. So he's trying to kind of catch back up.
Oh, this is going to be rough for Hanmano with this Banshee, but at least he's going to scout the push.
Yeah, it's a good scout, though, to see that this is coming, and he can pick off a couple of units here, especially if they're just not paying attention.
Yeah. That is... Did get a couple Marines at least, and he's getting his tanks and Raven of his own. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah, it's a quality TVT. Hanmano not feeling super confident in his TVT, but clearly has a good understanding of the start of the matchup. Now, things do change quite a bit. I think TVT is one of the biggest differences between early game and like mid game. All those early game units we saw, the Reapers, Hellions, Cyclones, they're gone. They're useless now. You don't have them, you don't need them. Now it's Marine tank time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is good. Good stuff.
Banshee getting some nice damage, but as the Vikings come out, that'll be pretty much it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm impressed with Hanmano. This is not as committed as he used to. It seems more refined. It's been a while since you've been getting to cover him, but so what's your thoughts on this? Doesn't this feel a little more refined than the Hanmano of old?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a good TVT. Like, if you covered up the names, I would not have guessed this was Hanmano at all.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Percival's TVT is really good. His TVT is I think it might be one of his best matchups, honestly. It's very strong. And I'm a little worried for Hanmano. But he's got a nice little tank position here. Percival's trying to push in, and he will be successful, it looks like.
Ooh, that was almost
in finding a good position.
Yeah, that was almost a save on that tank. That was damn close, Chicken Man, too. But this is looking rough.
There's just so much Raven energy here for Percival, and Hanmano's going to try to drop a couple auto turrets and break this, but I think Percival's just got too much. He's all sieged up. The SCVs are coming off the line, but that's a desperate move. And I think Percival might just be able to keep on pushing through here.
Ooh, 28 workers.
Oh, yeah, and that tank lives with 7 hit points. That's going to be the WW.
The WW. Oh, sorry, we had a little bit of admitting going on.
Oh, that's how it goes sometimes. Dave, I need a picture of you.
Picture me, oh boy. Right now, I'm stashed, Dave, too, because I had a little a thing I had to check out, like an ingrown hair or something. So I'm like, you know what, rip beard.
I just need to put you on the casting desk next to me. You know, I have an empty spot here, and
all right,
I need a picture of Dave. You got one lying around you can send me?
Yeah, let's see here. I just sent one to somebody. Ah, yes. Let me send it to you right now.
Nice.
I had like some admin messages, people trying to find.
That's good. That's good. We like that one.
It's
the classic right there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. And this time we are on to game number 2, right?
We are indeed on to game number 2. Why don't you hit us with the introductions?
All right, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall. Give it up for Prep Esports, Hanmano in the Cyan. And his opponent in the upper right, representing himself, I believe, it is our blue Terran player, Percival. I didn't do exactly what I was saying. I was more like, Ree.
Sorry, it was more like what?
It was like let's see here. I was like zooming in and, you know, I think I'm going to work on that and get something in so it's chaotic like Dave. It's Proxy 2 Racks again, Chicken Man.
You love to see it, don't you?
Yep.
You really do. All right. I was working on production during that, but beautiful. Oh, this time it's Percival Proxy 2 Raxing. Yeah. Oh, man. This feels like BM.
Wait.
I'll show you how to do it.
It's scouted.
On mono with the SCV scout just to check. I love it. But good positioning from Percival. These SCVs are not easy to hit.
No. Okay. I love the. Okay, sending 2 other ones. I don't hate this at all. Truthfully.
Yeah, he should be able to stop the second Rax from coming up. In which case, it's just a single proxy Rax, and he gets 2 SCV kills. Which means even if this Reaper gets a kill or 2, it's really not that big of a deal. This is a really nice start for Hanmano.
Yeah, that was brilliantly held, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, Proxy Reaper still can be a little bit dicey. The Reaper's going to be done a little bit before Hanmano's, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Apparently your mic is really quiet, but you are so loud to me. No, it's not you. It's on my end.
Oh, yeah, it could be... that happens to me sometimes, too. I know how it goes. It's how...
Oh, you know why? I have my volume turned up all the way. That's why.
Yeah, usually my headphones are jacked, and then I'm like, why is everything loud? And everyone's like, it's quiet. I'm like, are you guys deaf? Like, you never can trust Twitch chat, you know? Oh, no.
No, you really can't.
Now this is getting to critical mass.
Oh, no. What's going on here? What did I miss? I'm adjusting volumes, and Percival's just winning the game.
Well, I mean, honestly, worker trades or not, that did set Percival back a bit, but Hanmano should have not have taken that seat. Oh, I think he stops it, though. The Hellion going down is pretty good, and actually, he's at an advantage.
I mean, all right, okay. It's very similar worker counts. The CC starting up here for Hanmano is really nice because Percival does not have one of those. That looked really dicey for a second, but turns out not to be too bad.
And he's going to have not only the CC advantage, but he has a starport started and a tech lab going down for the factory. I think that's... I'm with you, Chicken Man. I think that's not too shabby. This is... You know something? I'm glad it wasn't just me. This light blue versus blue is definitely a little rough.
It's super rough. It's super rough. It's already difficult, even if they're like very different colors in mirror matchups sometimes, because a lot of the overlap is just from the regular models, right? Yeah. But when they're almost identical colors, it's so hard, especially because like the Reaper Fire is light blue. So the Reaper Fire is Hanmano's color on Percival's Reapers.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What the hell is that?
It makes things all the more difficult to catch. One thing we did fail to catch is that nice little cheese spray from Percival. I believe it was from Percival.
I mean, well, no, it couldn't have been. That's got to be Hanmano's, right?
Yeah, that has to be.
Because it's got to be from the SCV, and I don't think Percival SCV scouted.
Oh. Tank is
out. Hanmano not ready for this cyclone here.
Well, he does have the siege tank. He has a couple of Hellions.
Yeah, tanks are pretty good, it seems.
But I don't know how much I agree with mag field accelerators. Like, they can help in defense. But in this matchup,
this is an old school kind of build. Do you remember those days at TVT? This was like 2 years ago, where Magfield accelerator openings were like a thing. I feel like that's a euthermal thing.
Yeah.
And you just make like 5 or 6 Magfield cyclones, and I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what Percival wants to do with them.
Yeah. Speaking of euthermal, I gotta say I'm pretty proud of Mr. Thermi, and I'm hoping to get him into some stuff. He was having some confidence doubts in himself for a while, as you know, but he's been playing pretty well as of late. So I'm hoping we see some more of euthermal cheekiness. But what I think, like you're saying with this build, where it's good is if people are like choking up like to defend against Reapers and stuff on that wall. But these Hellions aren't really going to be able to fight. There's no units, there's no structures on the main base. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think this may, I mean, it could be good still. But I
think it'll be nice if like Han Mono tries to push out, the Cyclones can really take advantage of it and just double lock onto a tank and it's gone. It's kind of like Blink Stalkers in a way, right? Where you're just picking off units if they try to move across the map.
Sure. Well, one thing I don't like is we have a starport from Han Mono. He's building Medivacs, going for bio. I do like the bio, but there's a Cloak Banshee coming. So Percival's playing more mech. Well, he's going into bio, but he opened kind of like a mech heavy.
You know, there are some games where not having a Raven can be really good. We've seen Gumiho play without a Raven a lot in TVT, but when there's a Cloaked Banshee hanging out outside your base, that's not usually a nice thing. You really want that Raven right now.
Yeah.
But the Banshees, they're still chilling for a little bit. There might be a scan available for Han Mono.
Yeah,
they're going to be a little dicey.
Yeah, they are going to find some pretty good value, it looks like, because we don't quite have a scan available yet, and Stem's not done.
Yeah, and no Vikings out is just brutal here. There's really no way to punish these Banshees. Stim finally finishes up, and they just leave. They're just out of here.
Yeah, 9 worker kills is definitely rough. Percival's insanely ahead on workers.
Yeah, it's a very nice set of Cloaked Banshees. We don't often see Cloaked Banshees in this matchup because of how prolific the Raven is.
Yeah.
But Percival kind of correctly guessing that Han Mono might not go for a Raven this game. Or even thinking maybe he could get the damage done anyways, but it's worked out very well for Percival. I don't know why he's leaving, I'll be honest with you. Maybe he's expecting a Viking to show up, but Han Mono is insanely supply blocked right now. So he is not producing anything. Finally, he gets some production going. But he lost an SCV building a depot, so he needs to get back on that.
The big thing is the production, I think, now, because Percival is going to start having this economy that Han Mono is lacking for the moment. But that being said, he does have a good amount of tanks. Does he have... No, actually, never mind. Percival's going to have +1 with this, but Han Mono had that combat shields lead, but the Banshee really screwed up his build.
Yeah, I mean, Han Mono, I think, was preparing for a push or something, and it's just... Yeah. It's all super, super delayed. He doesn't have a third base, and now he's down 20 workers. This is all in for Han Mono. He needs to go. And Percival knows it. Percival's going to go for a double drop, and I think he's just going to try to hold with his tanks on 2 bases.
Yeah.
Because he knows Han Mono is completely all in right now.
Yeah, that's definitely an all-in play from our Teal Terran, Cyan, whatever.
No, Cyan's a Chinese Protoss player.
True. Yeah, to make it even more confusing, he picks a color of our Chinese pro player.
Right? He really hates the Protoss. Yeah. Oh man, this drop from Percival is gonna kill everything in the natural of Han Mono, and Han Mono's like doing some damage here, but it's just not permanent damage. Meanwhile, he is absolutely... he's lost the natural Nexus. He really is turning into Cyan.
Yep.
I think this is pretty much it. I don't think he's going to be able to break Percival. And Percival's even going to jump on these tanks, just targeting 2 of them down. Yeah, unfortunately, Han Mono, he wanted a Protoss, but he got Percival.
There it is.
The BG.
The BG, the B.
Yeah, the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees, because Percival was the one staying alive, right?
Yes. And thank you to Spanmeister for the raid.
Spanmeister.
Spanmeister. We'll go back to NA.
I'll never forget. Okay, I'll never forget when Spanmeister was the only one to sign up for the Korean, was one of the very few people to sign up for the Korean region qualifiers and made it through the open qualifiers because nobody signed up.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Shout out Spanmeister.
For sure. And I just wanted to say, Chicken Man, something spicy in the works, which I really want you. I'm hoping we can get some other folks involved, but you and I got to be leading the charge on it for hopefully not too far down the road. Lambo and Rainer seem pretty keen on a random tournament, which we've been talking about for a while.
Yeah. I love random tournaments.
But with Rainer and Lambo, just saying.
That'd be insane.
My dude Rainer.
I'd love it. Yeah.
Raynard been visiting the Dave stream from time to time because of his newfound love of Protoss.
Yeah, Rainer's he's full Protoss now. He's just he understands.
So
he's seen the light.
So when he's came into the Dave stream a few times, I had to do it. We had to have a scuffed Rainer picture. As is tradition, right?
Yeah.
I need to redraw you. I want a better Chicken Man picture. Like number 2 has to be like. I can see it happening because like a few of the pictures I've redone.
We'll get a good one, I believe.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna go Percival Christianer now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're just shafting our team. We're like, whatever, guys. But
I mean, you know, we'll see them later, right? We know they'll be in the semis and the finals, right? Easy.
Yeah. Pasca corrected me. Teal's a little darker. True. I guess it is kind of cyan, that color. That is a good point.
It's not quite cyan. I feel like cyan is a little bit greenier almost, because cyan is kind of like a light teal, right? So it's got that green feeling in it.
Yeah,
I think it's just a light blue. Like I feel like there's probably another good color for it, but it's definitely more of just the light blue without a lot of green in it. Maybe cerulean is a better name for it or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I was about to break out the RGB hex converter so I could feel like Ravi for a minute. Based Ravi. Oh, I love it. You got the picture. I got to get your picture to come up on command, though, too, for now. Like, I'm rather than doing my other. I love it. I got to. Yeah. I need a stream overhaul, Chicken Man. I've been thinking about this. I hit up 47 this to start for one less scuffed emo. But sadly, every time I bring up the idea, my chat doesn't like the idea of unscuffed Dave stuff, you know?
I understand. The scuffed Dave aesthetic is really key. I need to message 47S again too. I messaged 47S about something like 2 months ago, and then clearly haven't done anything streaming related since then. I was like, I'll get back to you.
Boom made me sad that she doesn't want to do any artwork. Because I feel like you and I are in the same camp where Boom has a certain quality when she does art, and I understand it's not what she wants to do, so I respect it. But I'm like, oh, I was going to have a whole Boom made themed Dave stream.
She doesn't understand how much I love the chicken man tested chicken.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Love it. I love that chicken. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's incredible.
That was the best money spent I did in a minute, to be honest with you. I love that. And she did a fantastic job with the Legion Cup logo for me before, was how I went on a whim and asked her, and she's like, all right. It's quite good. Christiana Percival. I'm sorry too, bud. My hours are goofy, and admittedly, I forgot about EPT Asia last night. So guess who did a cheeky, at least 12, I want to say 12 to 13 hour stream with like a break in between of like an hour.
I saw that you were streaming. I was wondering why you weren't casting.
I forgot.
But that makes sense.
Well, I was
forgetting is a hell of a thing.
I was actually crushing it on the ladder, but I got to a point where I threw away some MMR because I was too tired.
I played some StarCraft the other day.
Nice.
That's it. That'll be my StarCraft for the month. We'll come back in like September to play some more.
Mm-hmm. Hey, nothing. Hey, you do what's
fun. Who needs to play it when you can just cast it, right?
Exactly.
Speaking of which, shall we hop in to game 1 of our next best of 3? We have ourselves a pink Protoss spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Inside and Out. Representing Blazer, it is, of course, Christianer.
Meow. And his opponent in the bottom left, our blue Korean Terran Terror, it is Percival, the Slayer of Han Mono.
Right, the Han Mono Slayer. Is this live or a replay? I don't know, Dave, is this live?
This is 100% live.
100% live.
And honestly, Chicken Man, I'm trying to gather the replays. I'm going to do a mass dump to you of zip files. So if you ever like, you know what, I want to do something on stream, we don't have a tournament, whatever, I missed out on some stuff, let's just try to cheek some in. Maybe you could end up with some YouTube stuff or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, YouTube, that's a thing. That's a thing that that exists. I need to upload things to my YouTube. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I just do exports, but like I'll do highlight export, but I keep saying that, and I've not made the time yet. But I did promise. I am gonna have to bug you. I know you don't have a lot of time, but it'll be like there's you and some other friends. I promised everyone 2022 would make a Dave cartoon, so we'll need to borrow your voice for a little bit.
Oh, you send me lines, buddy. You just let me know what you need. I'm there for you.
Hell yeah.
That is not an issue at all. I'm super in.
Yeah, looks like we have a little bit of a high ground CC. I don't think this is to be cheeky. I think Percival's a little afraid of Christianer right now.
It certainly could be. I do like that Percival did the second depot wall. I really like that. I think it's just such a strong thing in a series like this. There's no real recourse for it, right?
No.
You lose a little bit. It's like not super efficient, but Christianer has no idea what Percival's doing right now, and it is. It's just a CC in the main, but a follow-up of 2 racks, and the Reaper's going to be able to go get the counter scout, so Percival will know exactly what Christianer's up to, and looks like he's going to grab a couple of these probes. Woo.
Well, Christianer microing it, but yeah, is he going to keep that last probe alive?
I don't know. Is this Percival or Beyond?
Yeah, seriously, the Reaper control, I was actually going to say before, Chicken Man, that last game, Percival's Reaper control was pretty excellent. I was kind of thinking the same thing. He's got the Reaper control, and it was reminded me a bit of Beyond. Let's see if we can get a scout from Mr. Oh, almost.
Nope. So close and yet so far. Should be able to see the CC floating over, though.
And fun fact, Christianer gave me a little bit of coaching yesterday, and I think he's doing this for another reason than just what it is. He did know that this is walled in, thinks a robo is kind of a safe play. But that's
no follow-up tech, though. Just straight to robo, and there's no robo bay, there's no Twilight Council to follow it up. Just a couple more gates going down.
If he can get... Yeah, actually, I'm almost not sure either, but I was going to say a fast Colossus would absolutely eat this for breakfast, you know what I mean? But
it would, but again, Christianer doesn't know that this is 3 racks, right? So yeah. We know a Colossus would be fantastic, but if this is like a tank push, or if this is like a couple of cloaked Banshees coming in, you know, there's a lot of things it could be that a Colossus would just be the worst investment.
Oh, sure.
So Christianer's just going to go for some gateway units and play it kind of safe. I say play it safe, but he's got a Prism on the way. I think he's going to try to get some damage done here.
Ooh, the Observer is going to go down. Oh, is it? That's huge.
Oh, my God. The observer staying up.
Yeah, the least.
That is crucial.
Yeah. At the least it cost a mule. And unfortunately, stim and combat shields finishing is not going to be the greatest when you don't have any, tech. This is just plain Jane stalkers.
Yeah, Christianer going to have to micro real fancy. He's got to be careful with stim about to finish. He knows that's being upgraded, but he doesn't know when it's going to be done. Right? And it's done right now. So if Percival wants to go for it, he can. And yeah, Stalker's got to run away. Prism's got to run away. No concussive, so looks like most of these Stalkers will be able to get out of here. And no medevacs to heal up the stims. So Percival doesn't want to stim probably any more than this. But he wants to put the pressure on. He really wants to push Christianer all the way back.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with this variant of the 3-Rex is the combat shields, because Stalkers are quite good against Marines before combat shields, but oof.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be all of Christianer's units are gone, but there's just no more health on these Marines.
Nope.
So they're going to grab a few probes, but basically just trading units. Resources lost is in Percival's favor, but because he delayed his tech so much, oh my god, it's just more barracks going down. It's actually insane. I actually don't mind this for Christianer, who's got that Colossus on the way now.
Yeah, Percival's going all in. Which could be not bad, but the fact that Christianer is not committed to a third base, I'm with you. I think he's in a very good position against this, especially if he's all in, because if he just holds the pushes, then he can kind of eke out the better units and just secure a third, and he just wins the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like right now. But he needs to recognize what it is. He's still got that observer overhead, though, so he knows. Christianer knows there's more racks coming down, and this is probably going to hit with a couple of medevacs. Are we going to see the boys get pulled?
Yeah, I have a feeling we are once he gets to, let's see, +1 finished. I think it is going to be a boys pull. And, Colossus drop. Back to what I was saying with the coaching. I shit you not. I have a feeling he's doing this also to mention. He goes, Colossus drops could be really good against 3-Racks. And, well, we're seeing it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good call. Because there's no Vikings out, there's no Raven out, right? There's nothing to really punish this as long as you micro decently.
Yeah.
Christianer does have good micro. There's a turret here, but this Colossus is just going to be kind of annoying. That being said, Percival's on the other side of the map. And this Colossus is not there. This is the real danger of moving out with the Colossus. There's one Colossus that just popped for Christianer, but there's no thermal lance, so he's got to just hold at the top of this ramp.
Yeah, he can recall, though. He can recall. I wouldn't hate a recall.
True. He is Protoss. Ooh, he doesn't have energy, though. He's just flying home.
Yeah, he did for a second, and then he ended up chronoing. And you know what? I think he just wants to pump out another Colossus. So he's 3, he has +1. He has charge on the way with more gates. So
yeah. I think Percival is expecting there to be a third base, but because the scout for Christianer, he knew taking a third base would be a risk and kind of an unnecessary one. Like you said, he's getting those better units out, right? If Christianer's got Colossi out, that's going to ultimately be able to do really well here against the bio.
And you know what I like more than even just the fact that there's Colossi? That is gravitic boost. We have speedy
we
boys.
Love that. That's a speedy Prism. I like this position for Christianer. It's certainly not over yet, though. Percival has a lot of units, and as this third base goes down, this is the vulnerable moment for Christianer.
Ooh, yeah, he almost lost his speed Prism at that. And that said, Percival's not going to boys pull. He's going to take a delayed third as well, so he's not. He went from a position that looked all in to...
Oh, no, Christianer. He's trying to catch these units out in the middle of the map, but Percival went the other way, and he's going to be able to get a tank in a nice position. Ooh, I want to say surround from Christianer, but I feel like Percival has wedged himself in a really good spot here.
Yeah, that tank
is going to catch a lot of zealots. Yeah, the tank, unfortunately, is just going to go right down. Super shield battery, though, going to hold on for this Colossus. And Percival, not really microing these units. They're kind of just chilling in the middle. And you know what? I thought this was dicey for Christianer, but I think he's just going to absolutely clean this up.
Yeah, brilliant hold. He even catches a Viking on the back foot, Chicken Man. That was a very good hold, and you know what? He has some extra probes to kind of get a little bit of saturation on his third already. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit different of an outcome than I was expecting. I don't know about you so far.
It's been a very interesting game. I feel like Percival's had some plans. Christianer has kind of just countered them, but it still feels like a fairly even game. Like, Percival's up a little bit of army supply. The biggest thing here is that Percival's even on workers, and they're both at 3 bases, which generally favors the Terran.
Well, we just did a Warp Prism Scout, a Liberator, and it's going to be a double Liberator push. There's not a lot of Stalkers, and we don't have Blink. So this could be... with a 4 Colossi build, I don't know, Chicken Man. This could be pretty good for Percival if Cristiano doesn't react right.
Yeah, and he didn't realize there was one in the natural, so that one's going to go ahead and grab a few kills here. The one in the main gets set up. There's no shield battery here, so the Stalkers are actually taking some big damage.
Ooh, yeah.
It looks like it might be able to grab a probe before it goes down. 5 probes already. Good targeting here from Percival as well to get the probes and get that Stalker kill. Yeah, this is a really nice set of Liberators, but we'll get cleaned up.
Oh, absolutely. Damn, that is very unfortunate. 8 workers going down for... Cristiano's now on his back foot for workers, and we're on 3 orbital mules. Oof. That's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not really where you want to be. He still has a pretty solid army, but as more Vikings come out, the 4 Colossi are not going to feel nearly as strong. I will say it's only 3 Vikings right now, so it's going to be a while before that happens. But in the meantime, Disruptors can come out. I like the Dark Shrine play.
Yeah, the dynamic duo of destruction, Disruptors and DTs.
Yeah. Some good alliteration. I like that.
It's definitely love to see it. And a Zealot run by, catching some high value.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is really sick, actually. A lot of SCVs about to go down. Percival, he says, fuck it, I'm pushing anyways, I don't care. I don't care about your Zealot run by. He's going to EMP the crap out of this army. The overcharged shield battery helping out quite a bit.
Ooh, the Disruptor goes down.
Great target fire from those tanks to save their own lives. Vikings still working on these Colossi. The shield battery overcharge is done. There's still some Marauders on the ground, but Christianer might be able to push this back with a few more Zealots. There's not really a lot of anti-Zealot left on the ground here.
Yeah.
And those Zealots on the other side of the map killed 43 SCVs, and they're still not cleaned up.
Yeah, that said, though, those Vikings got their value. Losing 4 Colossi, a little rough, forcing a Boys pull, but a couple Archons should help with a little bit of the battery over. Oops.
Yeah, ooh, gonna try to drop on top of that Disruptor. Christianer gonna tap out just because he doesn't have any army left, and that is a brutal moment to have to get out of that game because, man, those supplies are so insanely close.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I just want to show chat for a minute. I don't usually do this. Look at the APM in this game. 386 from Christianer and 471 from Percival. That was a sweaty game.
Wow. Yeah, very sweaty game. Especially at the end there, we ended up in it almost felt like a base trade situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a wild one. That was super, super close.
Oops, I went to the wrong lobby. Oops.
I knew you were going to click that button. I almost did it. I was like, I bet you Dave clicked it.
Almost. I canceled out quick. We
All
love
right,
you,
Trigger.
Trigger.
We do love Trigger. That's a fact. And you said Aniketos is also casting.
Yep, AniketosMavi. I'm going to get his link here. And I appreciate that.
Good idea.
He's a big Dave supporter. That guy's always grinding,
oh,
too.
Yeah.
He's a grinder, smaller streamer, but absolutely fantastic guy. And he did a good job casting a few times with me, to be honest. He's somebody that's made the Dave list when I need people. It ain't easy without you, bud.
Yeah, so check Aniketos out. Let's get into this game. Oh, wait. Never mind.
You know what's nice? You
Get
don't
out
have
of
to
game.
worry about... oh, where's Christianer? Okay.
No, just leave. Just leave. Get out. It was the wrong server.
Okay. I just messaged him, hello.
Hello?
Oh, replay stat spot's on. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, Sibajon. Oops.
Ooh. Whoops.
Percival?
Sapphire.
Yeah.
That's a cool name for a map. This is the best map name, I think.
Oh, for sure. Except for casting with Florencio, I go, you know what? I like it better. He has the tendency to still mistake it for Cosmic Safari. So I'm like, you know
Cosmic Safari.
Tell me that's not hilarious. I'm like, you know what? Your mistake, I'm now using.
Yep.
Classic flow. Gotta love it. How do you feel now that Florencio and Flapjack are on our team, by the way?
The greatness of the team is just growing and expanding at an unbelievable rate.
For sure. You want to do the honor, sir, or you want your...
Oh, I would love to. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Cosmic Safari, we have our blue Terran player, the Korean staying up. I don't actually probably waking up early at this point, right? I don't know what the hell time it is over there.
Yeah.
Who knows what DGen hours this Korean player is on? It's Percival.
And his opponent in the upper left, representing Blazer. It's our pink Polish Protoss, Christianer. And you know something, Chicken Man? As time went on, you brought it to my attention, and the tradition still stands. It seems like anytime we have Polish Protoss versus Protoss, there's like a rivalry for who gets pink first.
It's really true. It's really true. There's a few players who really like pink. Christianer is absolutely one of them.
Oh, for sure. Christianer, Art. I'm trying to think here. I believe Xiaomek sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh man, it's funny. I wonder who stands the record for casting the most PvPs. It's got to be like you, and then follow up me.
Oh God, PvPs, yeah. You know what was funny? The ESL Open Cup last night, it was like all TVP for me.
Yeah,
every single match I cast was a TVP. It was wild.
Yeah, you were saying. I mean, I was watching earlier. But, you know, honestly, it's just great to see you back on.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be casting again, Dave.
Yeah,
it's been so long.
Well, while we're in the lull of the game, it's a pretty standard opener from both. The 1-1-1 this time from Percival. Chicken Man, how's your theater stuff been going? My chat's even been asking, and some of my chat is your chat. Like, Dave, you're a poor substitute for Chicken Man. But I guess we're gonna come visit Dave in your absence. How's it been?
It's been really good. It's been really good. It was nice to meet a lot of people. It was a lot of hard work. I was working like crazy to get stuff done, but it was really nice to do that kind of stuff again. It's been years for me. I'm really glad I did it, but I'm also really glad it's pretty much over. Like, I do have to go fix some stuff probably tomorrow, but I'm really happy to get back to casting. And I don't know, I had a realization yesterday that, like, I was kind of struggling a few months ago. Like, when I moved here, that's the reason I moved here, is I was kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, you know, hoping that things would get better. And in the break while I wasn't really casting and streaming, things did get better. And it's been like, yesterday casting, while just feeling generally better about life, it was so nice to have that moment of realization. Like, hey, I feel good right now, not just casting, but just in general. And so I'm really glad. Like, I was sad to have to take a bit of a break from casting and streaming, but I think it was really good, and I'm really fucking stoked to be back doing it again.
No, you know what, Chicken Man? I have to get myself mentally prepared to make a lot of changes, because it's some of this stuff I've been going through. I'm actually proud of you for doing it, but like, when I just saw you, the first time I've seen you back on in a bit, even, you look healthier, you look happier. You look like you're in a good, a really good spot, and that's most important, that we're, you know, taking care of ourselves and doing what we got to do, you know. So I knew it would work out. In other words, but look at this Hellion drop, jebaited.
Yeah, the classic proxy Stargate, or Starport rather, Hellion drop only gets a few probes and is gonna try to get on out of here. Should be able to save all this. Oh my god, Percival, please. Oh, he just stopped. He just stopped and my heart stopped for a second.
Yeah, you know what's sad for Cristiano? He had the pylon to scout for drops, but unfortunately it was not where he needed it.
Yeah. Percival thinking ahead and going for the proxy over by the natural. But doesn't really get too much done. He hasn't lost anything. Oh, no, Blink. Blink is pretty good upgrade. All right, so suddenly this goes from a decent opener to terrible. That's now bad for Percival. Hopefully this follow-up proxy Banshee can get something done, but we'll see if Cristiano goes and scouts for that.
Yeah, for sure. This is a matter of scouting, and you know what, that starport, going into a Cloak Banshee follow-up. Ordinarily, I wouldn't hate it, but when Protoss is open standard, has an observer, going to get another observer. He's definitely going to have one back home while he goes out to scout as the second one's coming, Chicken Man. I think he's in a pretty good spot to defend against the Cloak Banshee follow-up, which is very unfortunate for Percival.
Yeah, I think this is looking pretty solid for Cristiano. Now, that being said, Cloak Banshees can always find damage. We've seen Cloak Banshees, and you're like, all right, this person's completely set up for it. And they get like 8 kills, and you're like, all right, well, I guess that's just how it is. And first of all, absolutely, there's an opportunity for that. Like, there's no shield battery in the natural or in the main mineral line, so one Banshee can even just start killing stuff. But it looks like, yeah, it is just going to be the single Banshee. So I think this Banshee can definitely get some damage done. Cristiano's on the other side of the map with the Stalkers. Gonna poke and prod and get a Marine.
Yeah, he's not going to be too over-ambitious and get a tank. But Chicken Man, as you said that, you were spot on. This Observer's in OBS mode. Cristiano doing something opposed to what he told me yesterday in coaching. He's like, yeah, usually you keep your second OBS back home. And interestingly enough, he's not doing that.
Nope, not listening to his own advice. That is a classic coach move right there. And you know what? He's going to regret it because his advice is good.
Yeah, his advice is so good. But I think he was talking about PvP, but I was actually thinking about that. I go, that's a very smart move just to remember. It's like something we all maybe know, but when you're playing the game, it's a little different. As you know, Mr. Caster, man, we get a little... I don't know about you, but I'll play. But like, I know what's coming, whatever. But you're like, you're in the game, and it's so different.
I've been in the game, and I've scouted something, and I'll go, oh, okay, this means he's doing that. And then I will not prepare for exactly what I just said out loud to my chat, and then I'll die to the thing that I knew was coming.
Yep.
So yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
And here we go, the Cloak Banshees. He did end up waiting for 2, and immediately just gets 8-9 kills. This is the power of this kind of strategy. The recall goes down to get the Observer home, but Observers are slower than Banshees. So still more damage coming out.
Yeah, this push is going to hit before Psionic Storm's completed.
Oh, the boys! They're coming. There's Zealots in the base. Cristiano's like, haha, I'm going to kill SCVs. Little does he know that's what Percival wants him to do. Yeah, kill my SCVs. I don't care. I'm going to kill your everything else. Gets a really nice siege position on this third base. Needs to take this shield battery out. If he can, yeah. Goes for the stim, grabs it immediately. And as the boys show up, this is going to be really tough for Cristiano to hold on. Oh, the
beautiful storms!
Oh, holy shit!
That was like the
Never
storm
mind.
of the year.
Cristiano's going to win this game.
GG! Holy crap! That was a game.
Oh my god. That was insane. That is probably the best storm I've ever seen. I've ever cast in a game. I've seen some good storms, but I don't think I've ever seen one that took the game from I don't think he can win to never mind, the game's over. My god. Percival must have just been looking at home for like 3 seconds. Looks back and the army is gone.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was damn lucky. And honestly, I was about to say, Chicken Man, he had the High Templar, the one remaining one that he didn't morph, kind of yeeting in the front a bit into tank fire, and he barely had it. Luckily, the RNG was with him. RNG, this was with Cristiano right there, because that would have been a lot different if he lost that High Templar. God damn, that was probably the best storm I've seen in some time.
Yeah, I mean, that was a game-winning storm. That killed so many units. I'd love to go back in the replay and see how many kills that High Templar had. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those units went down to like 1, but man, that's got to be like a 20 kill High Templar. That was insane.
Yeah, for sure. I was about to pull up the loss tab, but I didn't want to cover it up. But yeah, it's a storm of epic proportions.
I'm gonna watch it. Watch the replay on your channel now.
I will say there was 30. I didn't hit it though, but there was 30 worker kills right there. I will say that.
There were. Yeah. It was wild. Oh, Jesus.
I think it's
man. I need that Beowulf thing where we have like the instant replay. Yeah, I don't know how he does that.
He basically told me you set a replay buffer. He had a little batch file that you run, and like it's a script. So basically, it'll play it in VLC. It'll just play that because if you set I couldn't get the buffer part right, but I think I could actually do that. And when I do, I will hook you up. The only thing I want to do is get rid of my fucking Streamlabs. Okay, and apparently subscriber goal is broken. I want to get rid of. Yeah, I fucking hate this stuff. Sorry.
I understand. You're preaching to the choir here, my friend.
Mm-hmm. All right, changing it up, I guess. Huh? It's Tropical Sacrifice. Got our blue Terran player, Percival.
And of course, his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the pink Protoss from Poland. It is Christianer.
So, Chicken Man, funnily enough, somehow I've done it. I've gotten not only Christianer in Discord voice, but I actually got Geralt after he won one of the tournaments last week.
Nice.
It was really tough to get Geralt to do an interview, but I did.
You got him in.
And I was like, see, it's not so bad. I'm like, you probably have a similar time with Chicken Man. We're pretty easygoing guys. You know, no pressure.
I'm terrible at like winners interviews and stuff though. I don't know what to ask. I'm like, how was the game?
Nah. Just be casual, be yourself. That's why we love the Chicken Man, you know?
The problem is my short-term memory is so bad that, you know, people ask like specific questions. They're like, in game 2, you decided to go for this build. Was that specific for this player? I'm like, I don't remember what map the last game was. Yeah. From 30 seconds ago, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Don't remember.
Yeah. This looks
so like I just asking those specific questions are tough.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I get very in a very similar situation. Okay, scouting 1-1-1. I actually like the pylon in this case. Oh my god, that's actually a beautiful pylon.
Yeah, it's super cute. That's not a wall. That's a jugger wall.
Yeah.
And there's a zealot on the way. Christianer's like, I got a proxy, huh? But it's a Makarax, right? So it's just outside the base. So the Reaper's going to be able to get over here really quickly. And I feel like the zealot should probably want to turn around.
Yeah, I don't really like the zealot. Oh my god, he's building a tech lab at the proxy. This game's fun already.
This is kind of wild. The fake proxy, but it's not a fake proxy. It's a real proxy.
Yeah, this is starting to remind me more of the kind of games I get into.
Yeah, it's the classic Dave game right here.
Oh, God.
Very interesting to see Percival pull this out. We were just talking about Han Mono doing stuff like this, but I wasn't expecting it from Percival.
Jesus.
And Stalker is here now, so these units do not deal with the Stalker particularly well, and Percival a little late on the micro there for that Hellion. But as the Marauder shows up, the recall for Christianer doesn't get the Stalker out of there. Oh my god, the last hit from the Reaper gets him.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I do like the Stargate, though. This Oracle should potentially...
he's going for damage. He swaps to Avoid Ray, but he's supply blocked.
But you know what
he's worried about the defense.
I've been seeing this more, and it's going to sound crazy, not exactly this with the positioning and how stuff goes, but it's Hellbat Marauder with concussive shells, like a TVZ build. obviously a little different.
Oh my God, Hellbat Marauder. You're so right. This is insane.
I've seen this and I've encountered it, and I'm like, it's gotta be from Koreans to use this. 'Cause I'm like, you know damn well this isn't coming from EU players. And sure enough,
this is juicy. Percival pulling out the strats right now. What am I looking at? That is insane.
And he's even got the Viking follow-up. Let's see, literally, he's using his, it's a cheekier variant of a ZVT build. It's on one base, but he's even going to have the Viking.
I guess the Hellbats are for, like, the probe pull?
Yeah.
But there's nothing that shoots up right now, so this Void Ray is just going to win the game.
Yeah, the Viking's going to take a while to get there. At the least, it's going to be cleaned up and pushed back.
Percival's like, all right, I guess I'm out of here. The Void Ray is the counter, is the hard counter. And Christianer, he knew, man, he had to make this Void Ray.
Yeah, obviously Void Rays are going to kill this all like instantly, but certainly going to be able to get some value. The Stalkers are going to help against the Viking, but
well, they're going to run into the Hellbats and just die immediately is what they're going to do, but I still think this is very, very good for Christianer.
Yeah.
He lost his ground units, but, I mean, he's got a base, right? He's up workers. He's up a base. Percival CC is not even a third of the way done.
Yeah, this is, I have to say it, this is Kirktown. As you
yeah,
would
this
say.
is, Percival, where'd you get this build?
Princeton University. Why I say it's Kirktown, it would take Percival literally to have, like, the Captain Kirk win. So in other words, like, it's like the most one-sided fight against him, and somehow he miraculously wins this game. And throwing away a Void Ray's one possibility of how he can have that happen, dude.
Yeah, but he trades with a Cyclone. That Void Ray had already gotten a lot of value. I think it's totally fine for Christianer. If he just has a shield battery and a handful of units back at home, and he's got Blink on the way, I'm having a tough time seeing what Percival does here. I think he just has to macro and hope that he can find an edge in a couple of minutes. As I don't think there's anything he can do right now.
Yeah, these Oracles now are going to get a lot of value. He didn't move the Vikings over to defend. Oh, actually, just a couple workers.
Yeah, but even that, like 2 workers when you're already ahead 10, that's huge. And now Christianer is proxying his gateway like 3 feet from where that tech lab is.
Now, see, this makes me happy. This is the strategy in RTS, and I don't know about you, but I've been thinking about this lately. There's so many times like we'll love a solid, macro game and everything's in the builds, but I've honestly enjoyed like our tournaments and yes, even EPT Open Cups sometimes more than like even some of the games in Valencia, because the guys get more. They put the strategy in to a real-time strategy.
It's certainly really sick as we get the GG here. Christianer he's just attacking. Turns out Blink Stalkers are pretty good even when they don't have Blink yet. It's certainly really interesting that even this far into StarCraft 2, we're getting strategies and unique situations all the time. And I love it. And Christianer really handled that beautifully. The change from the Oracle to the Void Ray was crucial. He recognized, all right, I'm going to need this Void Ray. Even though he didn't know Hellbats were coming, he didn't know exactly what the build was. He recognized that the Void Ray was going to be the stronger choice there. And it was absolutely the right call. It completely neutered that build of Percival. Percival was on 1 base. I think at that point, winning would be a miracle. And he didn't quite get it. No miracle on ice for Percival today.
Mm-hmm. And I had a few questions messaged me. Pashka made us a color chart, by the way, of teal, cyan, and light blue with hex codes.
Beautiful.
Nicarak beat Max Packs. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's take a look at the bracket.
2-1. Look at him go. Damn. That's another reason I love these kind of cups. It's like you do get upsets. You get kind of crazy stuff. Like what happened in that series? I don't know, but we got to get those replays,
Yeah, and that's why I put in the rules. I'm going to try to hit it up for Aniketos is going to cover some. And yeah, it looks like we have Spatz Nicarak going on, and we have Geralt and Goblin. Cristiano moved forward, so I guess we're going to EU. Yeah, Spatz beat Trigger too.
Did he really?
Dan Matko's liking this, seeing the upsets. It is the best part of these tournaments, though. Truthfully, I love it because we get the underdogs. We've seen Cuckoo make it to the. Cuckoo's been pushing up more too, and I hope I messaged him because he's been playing a lot stronger lately. So don't count him out either.
I would never count Cuckoo out. Are you kidding me? I've been following Cuckoo for like 5 years. You think I'm counting him out? By 5, I mean like 2.5 or 3. But whenever he started streaming, I was there in the beginning.
Yeah.
When Roddy rated him and he had like 300 followers, I was one of them.
Nice. Yeah, he's such a nice kid. Like I say that about all these guys, though. Even Neeb, I'm like, what a nice kid. Feels old, man.
I mean, yeah, I think about it, and then I'm like, even the players who are old, you know, for StarCraft are younger than me. I made a joke one day. I was like, Mana, the old man of StarCraft. He's like 3 years younger than me.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Imagine being me. I got Roddy, who's younger
I know,
than
man.
me.
Who do you got? You got like, I think Damaga's older than you.
Damaga and White Ra.
Yeah.
Florencio.
I mean, White Ra hasn't played a game in 6 years, but
yeah, he casted on Home Story Cup, and I said we had a tournament then, and I was literally watching it then, like crying inside that I couldn't hear him cast, but watching it while I was casting.
That's big rip. Blizzard's having some issues trying to get me over to EU.
Okay. I guess we'll cover anything we can. Can I message Nicaract?
I mean, if Nicaract and Spats haven't started yet, that's the way to go.
Goblin D's nuts needs to win the underdogs. Yes. So Chicken Man, I don't know if you're gonna join us. Goblin loved it.
Goblin loved what?
I was and Goblin was tearing it up in a tournament, and I kept introducing. We're like, well, is Goblin gonna win, or is opponent gonna be Goblin D's nuts? And he was absolutely loving it. And I did get a chuckle out of Steadfast in his chat when I'm like, dude, we gotta I set the meta. It's the day we hear Roddy say it, we know we've done something, Chicken Man.
That's not gonna happen.
I know
There's
Roddy's
no
not.
chance. Roddy is not gonna make a D's nuts joke.
I can see.
You know? Oh my God! There's no way.
I'll settle for Steadfast. Okay, Nicarac's got a lobby. If we're going him, or are we following?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna message him. And I know you like Spatz. I like Spatz too.
I do, man. Spatz? Me and Spatz go way back, dude.
I'll be honest. What I feel like is my family team. If I was like teamless, or if I was on any other thing. About my age too.
All right, this is game 1, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Sick. Game 1 of our semifinals. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Moondance. Great Van Morrison song. It is Psystorm Gaming's Nicaract.
And his opponent in the bottom right. Sadly, we don't see the beautiful Viking logo. It is Berserker Esports Spatz in the blue.
No, instead we have this this picture of, is that Hero?
I believe so.
I believe it is.
So speaking of Hero, I did catch
Dave,
on to the fact
you
that
added the wrong goddamn Hero on your Twitter.
Well, usually I'll catch it and delete it, but I said, let's see how much shit I get for keeping it. I literally did. It was not a bullshit cop-out. I'm not much of a liar, so I literally saw that.
I believe you, but how could you?
It feels bad, man, because I couldn't find Hero's name was why. So I'm like, you know what? Let's get a laugh from every. Oh, and I'm losing internet. Hang on a second. I'm gonna let you carry. I'm gonna follow your cam while I go mess with an Ethernet cable. Embarrassingly.
Good luck. We got. We need Dave. Dave needs some tech support. Everybody in chat, I'm gonna need your best pray emotes. Please pray for Dave's internet. We pray to the God of Ethernet and ISPs and the gigabits. God of bits, please bless Dave with bits and bless all of the viewers. Excellent. This is a proxy pylon. Spats going to proxy a Stargate very close to Nicorak's base. This is one of the benefits of a new map pool. And I know this map pool has been around for a bit at this point. We've had a lot of pro games played on it, but there's still always that feeling when a map pool is only a month or two old of like, okay, where are the proxy spots? Which maps are the more likely to be proxied on? When you're a year into a map being in the pool, you know every answer to everything.
Yeah.
It becomes impossible to proxy. But on this map, like, I haven't seen this Stargate proxy location against a Terran yet, but apparently Nicorect has, because he's about to SCV scout it. So, yeah, Spat's getting found out.
Well, you know, that said too, Nicorect, right on it, but he also did wonders for chat, apparently. Tater Tudor says he's rooting for Nicorect because he helped him quit smoking. Gotta love it.
That's a good one. That's good. I like it. Just letting that adept in. Nicorect hates his SCVs, confirmed.
Yeah, just lets that adept in, no problem. But this shade, is he gonna finish the trans? That would have been hilarious.
The shade. The shade of it all.
He's just shading by the bunker, like Nicorect's like, there's no way you're going over there.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been anything there to kill, so.
Yeah. But like,
gets a couple SCVs, gets a scout.
But if he shaded over to it, there was a Marine in the bunker.
No, it was a wounded SCV.
Oh, it was a wounded SCV. Ah, he didn't see that. Yep.
It would have just been chilling.
Yep.
Second adept coming in. We have a tank coming out here for Nicorect. Might indicate a bit of a push. Yeah. But double Oracle, triple Oracle.
Oh my God, can we see it? Can we see the magical Foracle?
You know what? You know what's happening right now? Spats is trying to convince Nicorect that he canceled the Stargate. Nicorect didn't stick around to see if it finished. Could have been canceled. And now, it's been a while. Nothing's coming. Yeah. 3 oracles. This one cycle is going to have its work cut out for it.
Yeah, and wanted to point out too, Raven Q Demon, thank you for bringing it up. Aniketos is covering Geralt versus Goblin. But oh my God, you're right. Look at this.
Yeah, Viking does pop out, but 1 oracle for 1 cyclone and a couple marines. Pretty nice. I think Spats was hoping for a little bit more than that. Maybe the Viking really messing him up. Nicorect pulled that cyclone back, which was really nice. But still, I think decent opener off the back of getting your proxy Stargate scouted.
Yeah, exactly. You might say that Spats was gobbling these missiles from those Vikings.
You might say that. I'm not sure why you would, because Goblin's not in this game, but, you know, go with it.
Just from seeing that there, you know. For posterity. You know. I like the rev tag, though. Keeping these oracles alive is pretty crucial considering the opener, I'd say, Chicken Man, and what he's up against.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely need to keep them alive. It's a lot of investment in the early game oracles. Losing 1 it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you have to at least keep 1 up for that scouting. Like you're talking about, tagging with the revelation is very important.
Yeah. And let's see if this stasis ward he's scouted after. It's interesting, these spots. I like the pressure more for scouting, but I don't think he needs to have his whole army out there. I think he's just using the stalkers to hope to get... Well, he was hoping for high ground, but I think it's more for the possibility of sniping a Viking.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely grab a Viking if it gets too far out there. Blink is finishing up as well, so if the Marines try to move out before combat shields, he can trim off a few of those. Having the Stalkers out like this is never a bad idea if they have Blink.
You know, I like this from Spatz. He's going to try to get some damage, but realistically, I would like more if he just poked. Yeah, he's doing it. Okay, he's poking in the back base because this is a map where you can just take that safe backwards base. And for Terran, that's going to be really big to start taking that base behind your net.
Ooh, this Oracle, though, grabbing 4 kills and sneak out of there. Yeah, the back base is an interesting thing. So some players refuse to take it. They won't take it until late in the game. And some players are like, nope, that's my third every game. Just take it. It's easy. Got it. Because obviously, you know, it's got 1 Vespene Geyser, and it only has 6 mineral patches. So it's like 2/3 of a base. So a lot of players they'll go take that third out front. I'm a little surprised, actually, Spats, with this map control isn't... Oh, no. That is a hell of a stasis trap. He gets a tank from it as well.
Yeah, literally like 2/3 of the Bioforce in a tank.
Scan misses the other stasis trap as well, so Nicorakt might end up running into that by accident. But I'm a little surprised Spats didn't take a forward third. I feel like he had the map control to just do it. And then you can save that back base. If you're ever struggling to take a base, it's really nice to have that option available.
I was going to say there's a scan just in time, but these High Templar are revealed.
They are, yeah. The tank siege up is spotted by the end of that revelation, though. This is, again, why these Oracles are so important. As he loses 1 more. But the tank's a little bit exposed. Oh, the High Templar getting targeted down, though. They all die without a single storm going off. Nicorakt with the micro right there, and Spats keeping those High Templar clumped against the siege tanks. And now he doesn't have that splash damage. It's just bio against Stalker Zealot, and that is not good for the Stalker Zealot.
Yeah, you need a lot of Stalker Zealot, and you need a good concave, which is just not going to happen when you don't have that.
Yeah, the overcharged shield battery holding on for a little while, but Nicorakt keeping the pressure on, and he's taking a real third in the meantime. So he's actually going to be up mining. This is not 3 base to 3. This is 2.5 base to 3.
Well, that said, I know there's a little bit of aggression, but I wouldn't hate to see a couple slow warp and zealots at the proxy Stargate location to go hammer in at the third.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I wouldn't hate that either. That'd be a really nice way to kind of pull Nicorakt's focus back. It's a little late now, but I think if you're being pushed, getting a couple, even literally just 2 zealots in the other side can be brutal. The Terran needs to respond to it.
Well, he's going to respond to it, all right. He's taking it right out finally, Chicken Man.
Yep.
That is...
not much for that.
Yeah, there goes that little window of opportunity.
Stalker's trying to find something here. Oh, trying to bait him into the stasis. Got him, dude. Easy. And Jabade. Gonna lose a couple of Stalkers for it, but good times.
That Zealot was kind of in a rough spot. Scouts the push, but would have been better in the shadows there. The gas, whatever the fuck that stuff is.
The shadows I come.
Exactly. Oh, back to it, Chicken Man. Now that I have you, my mind's been out of the gutter a bit, but what's with StarCraft 2 units and all the pervy names and then the sayings, you know? It's kind of like Disney movies from when we were kids.
You just realize all the actually terrible alternate meanings. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, High Templar gets yeeted into ghosts.
Templar just, yeah, I don't know where that one was going.
Oh, that went
beautifully. A couple of feedbacks.
Yeah, that was beautiful for spots.
Hey, there's those Zealots running into the third base. Getting some good damage on 11 SCVs going down. They are going to get taken out, but pulls that fight back, that army back.
Yeah, actually, he killed a few Marines in that, too, so not too shabby. Certainly good trades.
High Templar safely in a prism for now as well. So hopefully that means Spats is able to get a few storms off. We saw a storm earlier today be a turning point in the game. So see if the same can be true here. More Zealots running in. There's a nice juicy storm. Spats probably wants to pull back from this concave though. He's getting a ton of damage done in the natural. while doing this. So just posturing out front doesn't really need to commit with the main army, I think.
Yeah, but behind us, there's a ton of zealots into that back choke. Gonna pick off some reinforcements. And that's actually Marauders and Ghosts that went down with that fight of the zealots with the... well, he didn't even have upgrades yet.
Yeah, the 1-1 not quite done yet. So Nicaract up on upgrades, but he's down quite a few workers. He does have an army supply lead, though, so Spats has to be a little bit careful. I was just going to say I'd love to see him get into, like, Colossi or Disruptors, and he does have a Robo Bay finishing up. So double Colossus on the way, but Nicaract's pushing across the map.
Yeah, and that Nicaract's pushing across the map, but the Zealot drop, catching some value, and 1-1 is going to finish for our Protoss player in this. It's going to be +2 infantry weapons, but not armor for Nicaract. So you know what? I almost feel like Spatz is fine if he can just get... depends what these goes with a lot of
big question mark. There's no... Yeah, there's one storm. That is it. It's... Oh my god, never mind. I lied. There's a second storm. Those are both very juicy. But the Colossi are not quite out yet. Can this one get out? It looks like the answer is yes. Overcharged shield battery going to help out as well. And the thing is, Nicaract is down 30 workers. He needs to get damage done here. It can't just be, you know, a little bit of pressure. So he's really got to go in. The overcharged shield battery has run out. There's not a lot of units left here for Spats. The army supply so heavily in the Terran's favor. And are we seeing Nicaract about to win with the fuck it push, where you just don't care how many workers you have back at home, and you just move across the map anyways?
Yeah, I think the problem was the Sim City. If you saw, Spatz sadly had the army supply lead, it looked like, but the Sim City worked against him. That was
GG. Nicaract, he down 30 workers, but he's got that strong, solid army, and he hit right before the Colossi were ready. If those two Colossi are out with Thermal Lance standing at the front, that does not happen. But he got there just in time.
Yeah.
6 EMP to start things off as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. But did you see that? Like the Archons and the Archons and the everything were just clumping up the Zealots. They were all like path in, like just basically not able to find any contact and just dying to the Marines and Marauders. Yeah, but yeah, again, those EMPs were absolutely fantastic, man.
Yeah, good fight there for Nicaract, and that's when he needed to take it. That means we're heading into game 2. Nicaract up 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Speaking of Nicaract, I know somebody who needs some Nicaract. This guy. Oof. As I light a cigarette and we're saying Nicaract and what I said in chat before. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Takua, by the way, too? I gotta poke out some of these guys. They're casters of things, too, for clan wars and such.
Casters. Imagine being a caster.
Exactly.
Why would you do that to yourself? Imagine casting StarCraft.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of which, spawning in the lower left-hand corner of DaveTestaSC over here in the 830 position, we have Storm Gaming, Nicaract.
And his opponent in the upper right, representing Berserker Esports, give it up for Spatz in the blue. Mr. Spatz.
All right, I'm going to run away for 1 second and blow my nose. I'll be back.
No problemo. All right, folks. Looks like we're just starting out. No SCV earlier across the map. It looks like possibly a Gateway Scout from Spatz. And that said, nothing too cheeky. Looks like a standard opener from Nicaract. And a little Scout Reno. And again, we do have on another series, coming down from AniketosMavi. If you guys want to check him out. Alrighty. Looks like it's going to be a low ground CC, maybe even a Reaper expand, but we'll see. Yeah, no. Okay, that's the Scout first. It's the 17 Scout. Got to do it as a Terran. If not special, we'll yell at you. Well, speaking of which, my lighter died. Huh? Nothing we can do better here. Alright, we do have the Nexus after the core, so not like a... Actually, no. It was Nexus before core, so a little bit greedier of a build from Spatz. So his core is going to be a little delayed after all, and it is a Reaper, so... I don't know. Honestly, in that case, I don't think it was really worth it. We shall see. And it is going to be the pesky bunker behind this. Will Spatz scout it? He actually very smartly is looking not here. It looks like he's going to find it. So this could help. Oh, the RNG not in his favor. Just waiting for Chicken Man to come back. So try to get a little pause in here from time to time. Oof, a little zappity zap. Right in the thrusters of the SCV. Battery going down. In a pretty decent position, and we got ring around the rosies. SCV full of probesies. But it is going to be a stalker opener. I do like this from our Protoss player, but we are going to see potentially a worker or two fall down. Yep, the Reaper grenade is going to help this. Bunker is ultimately going to finish. And the battery at that, though, so the timing works out kind of nice.
All right, sorry about that. I've returned.
No problemo, perfect timing. We got a little...
cheeky little bunker. But shield battery, pretty good way to defend against this.
Yeah, there was only one worker kill actually thus far, but another Reaper is going to make this quite annoying.
Yeah, this is really good micro from Nicorag too, keeping that SCV alive, keeping both of the Reapers alive, but at low hit points, so the bunker's not tanking shots. Shield battery is out of juice, and the Stalker is getting low. Yeah. Oh my God, the Reaper grenade. Oh.
Yeah, I'll be honest, in that case, it's a tough call to the pros, but in my opinion, I think he should have just not chronoed. You know, you just say you don't chrono one, and you just use that battery right away, because you can say, you know, not take any hull damage on your Stalker. But, oh man, oh, the lack of micro.
That's very painful. There's a Cyclone on the way, too. It's going to be a while, so I don't think that Cyclone's going to be too relevant, but... this is super painful for Spats. Look at all this lost mining time. Finally, the bunker's gonna get taken out. The Reapers go down, but that was very good value for Nicorag. Huge value. Whoa.
Yeah, let's take a look at the income advantage. Very highly, well, for a moment it was very highly in favor of Nicorag.
If only I had an income graph.
Numpad 1? You don't have numpad?
I do have numpad. It's not working.
Oh, damn.
We must not be on a game hard or home story cover.
No, it's working for me. I do.
Really?
Do maybe your num locks off. That's happened to me.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Good call.
See, this is what's cool. I don't really care, even if it was EPT. When I'm with you, Chicken Man, you, Renegade, some folks, but especially you, that's why we're here. We got each other's back, because usually it's me scuffing everything up, but every so often, though elderly, the elderly can be useful sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I just pretend that I don't have a scuffed broadcast, but it's all just pretend. I just act like I'm not scuffed. Really, it's all scuffed. It's all scuffed all the time, but I just pretend like it's not.
Putting those
Ooh, we got some boys.
Yeah, it's a boys pull. This is a pretty dirty build. But we do have Blink, we do have a Templar Archives, and we don't have a battery in the third.
Yeah, the lack of battery could be kind of painful. Bats, I don't think he's going to be super ready for this. The Observer is going to whiff it. Oh, no. And Nicorag might be able to get some bunkers set up in between these bases. Spats will have the high ground at the very least. That's a nice thing about this map. But this is looking potentially a little dicey for our Protoss player.
Let's see, does he have using battery overcharge? If he gets
gonna try to jump on the tank. He will get it just barely, but that is huge actually. No tank here is very painful for this push from Nicorag. As I said, that another one shows up though.
Yep, and the boys are getting dwindling too, so they're gonna stop messing with the target flaring. And well, speaking of boys, look at the probes going in.
Yeah, I think this is a great time to pull the probes. It is going to be a lot of dead probes, but of course the SCVs went down as well, and Spats is on 3 bases. He can afford to lose a handful. But that was more than a handful. That was 20 and no Immortal and no shield battery. Oh, the probes, they weren't quite enough. Spats is going to blink on top of the tank. He's going to get it, but at what cost? Never mind, he's not going to get it. GG, Nicorag takes the 2-0 victory.
Poor Spats. That was so close. It was knife's edge. If that pylon was just back, he would have had an Immortal. I think the Immortal would have won that.
Absolutely. I think that Immortal would have won. The Banshee would still be a bit of an issue, but that Immortal could just tank for days.
GG's.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Nicorette takes the 2-0. That means Nicorette's in the finals. We got Terran in the finals. Look at us go.
And let's see. Aniketos is on to 16 minutes into Geralton Goblin.
Damn.
And what appears to be a very try-hard macro PvP.
A banger.
So we have a TVP finals. Honestly, Nicorette has been making me, you know, all these guys make me proud to be on their team because they're all good at the game, video game, whether they think so or not. And some of them beat themselves up. But like, Nicorette's won some of our tournaments when I've been holding down the fort.
Oh yeah,
he's been, and even before.
He's a very strong Terran player. Can't ever count him out.
He's beaten. I believe he's beaten Neeb. Yeah, he's took games.
He beat Max Pax like 20 minutes ago. So
yeah, exactly. That's just saying it. But Spots played pretty well, I think, overall. Just a little bit unlucky with that observer, I think, made the biggest difference.
Uh-oh. I think my friends list is full. I got to delete somebody. Who's getting deleted?
Yeah, I might have to do the great purge, because as much as I hate to say it, I'm like, people can find channels, but if, you know, 9 out of 10, or if it's nothing to do with tournaments, I'm like, you guys can find me.
Offline for 3 years, and I don't know who you are. Sorry, Toolbox. You're out of here. Let's see. Offline for 1 year, and I don't know who you are. Sorry, Tiny Rick.
No, I'm just going to run and grab.
You're out of here.
I'm going to run and do a little stretch and grab a refill on the coffee for just a momento.
It's a good call.
And we should probably go to... Oh, yeah, we're going to stay on EU because...
Yeah, we're already on EU. We're good.
Beautiful. I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to just randomly pull up the Scuffed Chicken Man picture.
And offline for 10 years.
Jesus.
That's an achievement. That's like, I should send that to him. I actually know this person, too.
I'll be honest.
Offline for 10 years. Jesus.
Chicken Man, I've been pruning my friends list for the last year and a half.
I have not, and I need to do that.
Well, at least, because the thing is from the Team Legion days is what it is.
Yeah.
Because there was a glitch where I couldn't add anybody. Ah, there we go. It's not the good-looking Chicken Man, it's the Scuffed Chicken Man. But at least we got you up.
That's what we like to see.
I owe you a better picture because you're my dude. And I look forward. I hope everything works out for me with work because of my absence. Technically my vacation, they shouldn't break my balls, but that'd be the only curveball. But I really look forward to hanging out in Atlanta.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes. I'm so stoked for Atlanta.
I wish it was
gonna be balling.
I wish it was like an NA Home Story Cup, right? Wouldn't it be amazing? Because you see, like, say you and I were at Home Story Cup. You know damn well they'd be like, Dave, Chicken Man, get your asses up here. You're going to cast the series. It's just how it works.
I wanted to go to Home Story Cup so bad. Maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll be able to hit up Home Story Cup. That's been like, I've wanted to go to Home Story Cup for like 10 years. Back when it was literally just in an apartment.
Yeah.
And it was just like 12 people stuffed into an apartment.
Yeah.
Made for 2 people. Those are the good old days, man.
Yeah. That said, I'm gonna run real quick, just in case this finishes. All right.
All right, you do it up.
Thank you.
I'll make sure they wait for you.
Yes.
And that's a long match they're in. 20 minutes into game. So let's see, AniketosMavi. I'm gonna link that in chat if you want to watch Geralt vs Goblin. Link in chat for you. It's a banger of a game. It's won once. This is game 3. Oh my god. What a slapper. What a slap-a-dappa. Maybe I can put it up on the screen behind me. Hold, please. Man, it is hot in here.
All right.
Welcome back.
Looks like we're still waiting. Nothing like
Still waiting.
We see carriers, we see static defense, we see stalkers. AniketosMavi covering this.
Yeah. Ooh. Seems like it might be done though.
GG.
Seems like right as I get it all set up, it's done. That's how it goes.
Looks like.
Make sure to follow AniketosMavi. They're good people. We like them. We like having them in the community.
Absolutely.
Chicken Man, can you say something positive? I've had a really rough week and need some positive vibes. Kaze, SOB. You are like the opposite of your name. SOB means son of a bitch. And you know what? You are not a son of a bitch. You're a beautiful, an amazing Twitch chatter. You're going to absolutely crush it. Listen, sometimes in life you go down, but it's only so that you can appreciate how good it feels to come back up. The bottom is just there to give you perspective on the rest of your life. And, you know, whether it's a bad day or a bad month or a bad year, it's not going to be a bad life. It's just one piece of it. And that piece will be an important part of the ultimate puzzle that is your life.
And can I also add something?
Be looking up.
To K's SOB. K's, at least you're not Dave. That's all I got for you. Could be worse. You could have this mug wearing a hat like this because you're actually malding from playing too much StarCraft. Oh, it's Goblin versus Cristiano? I guess so. Geralt won.
No, Goblin was up.
Okay, now we can make the memes. I'm actually going to mention that.
I will grab Cristiano.
Cristiano? Oh, boy. Oh, we have Cristiano versus Goblin. Nah, yeah, we're not at the finals just yet.
Not yet. No, we got Goblin Cristiano. Man, I haven't cast a good Goblin game in a while. Cristiano is probably AFK, so hopefully he reads this soon. All right, I'm going to start a vote. I've been bad about the votes for this one, but we'll get them.
Impossible to win TVT. Wow, the Flames.
Yeah, get those bets going. Use those channel points. Who's gonna win this PvP?
Who's going to win in this PvP? Well, I think in nature of upsets, I'm going to root on, Cristiano would be mad, but nobody's going to be mad at me for saying that. I'm going to root on Goblin. Just so we can say it.
Yeah.
Cristiano beating Goblin, these nuts.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's a good call. Yeah, all the Polish Protoss is going to be Goblin these nuts.
Mm-hmm. That they will.
Looks like we did have a Zerg in today. Mixu, unfortunately. Not making it super far as You know, it happens with Zerg sometimes.
Yep. Sorry, I was giving.
Right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, so I'll let you entertain everybody.
All right, so I guess it's my attempt to entertain everybody. We are waiting for a bathroom break, and yeah, for Mr. Chicken Man. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I gotta say, also check out AniketosMavi. I was gonna ask Chicken Man, maybe we can get him into the finals with us. Let's see what Chicken Man says. Give Aniketos some love. He's been a good friend of mine. I met him as an opponent on the ladder when Dave would actually be playing with without his finger up his bum. You know? But guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy to be here with Chicken Man again. It's good to see him back streaming in, well, the Dan and Dave Cash Grab Chicken Man Testa Open, we'll call it. All together. And, you know, I just gotta say, if you happen to have an extra Amazon Prime sub laying around, we do appreciate it. Use it on the Man of Chickens. Use it on Aniketos, or thirdly, use it on Mr. Old Man Dave here. But thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you're beautiful.
Chicken Man, I was thinking, would you mind if we, up to you, if we had Aniketos come in for the finals, or do you want to just continue on? I know it gets a little chaotic,
let's do it.
But figure hook a brother up. He's been a huge supporter.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's do it. That's one of the things I've always liked about you since we've been doing this. It's good to get. I think it's healthy for the community to support good peeps. You know what I'm saying? All around, we're all just one happy StarCraft family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's what we're here to do. Shit, I wouldn't be anywhere if nobody had me on a broadcast 4 years ago.
Exactly.
You know? I'd be nothing. I'd be nobody.
You know? Exactly. And as time has it too, if it ever works out too, obviously, I really hope, I doubt we're going to see it now that he's big time, but if we can ever have the repeat of musical casters with Florencio and Beowulf, that would be so based. Let's be real here. Chicken Man, you know.
It would be. It's always based. It's always based, Dave.
Yep.
Speaking of based, we have one of the most based Protoss players in the world. Representing Team Roddy, we got ourselves the Blue Protoss, the Phoenix Master, Goblin.
And his opponent in the upper right, representing Blazer Esports, hoping to be making it Christian or Goblin on him. It is Goblin D's nuts. Wait, no.
Yeah, you did that backwards.
I just wanted to say it, but it's actually Christianer. I'm just kidding. Nothing we could have done better there.
Nothing at all. Coming this summer to a theater near you.
You know what that reminds me? That actually reminds me, using the voice, there's a... I know you weren't into Seinfeld. I hope one day, if you're ever like, you know what, I'm going to make some time, you get some. There is ironically a Seinfeld episode where Cosmo Kramer, of all people, the Dave spirit animal, actually had the phone number for the movie hotline back in the day when you'd have to call the movie theater to see what's playing. So he would pretend to be the movie theater, like, auto-announce voice, you know? When you did that, I'm like, I could just picture you actually kind of trolling people doing that, Chicken Man. It'd be amazing.
I could see it happen. Except nobody calls phone numbers anymore. So
yeah, exactly. It doesn't.
Although if anybody was gonna do it, it'd be a boomer, and you could definitely trick a boomer.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be. Oh god.
Oh no, he has been moved.
That would be good stuff. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, we're gonna have a low ground 1 gate expand by Goblin. He's going for the attempted quicker economy with the Stargate. He's feeling Max Paxy today. You know something, Chicken Man? Chicken Man?
What's up?
Oh,
What's
sorry.
up? Sorry, you're good.
It's always sad when you can't get that pylon block on the Nexus. It's a sad state of affairs.
It is. I don't think Cristiano was really going for the full pylon block, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he was too worried about it. He's gonna poke a little bit with the double adepts, but he forced the Stargate to go down before a Nexus, and now there's a shield battery. So Goblin's got plenty of investment in the defense. I think Cristiano's good with that.
Yep. And welcome everybody in both of our chats. We're trying to do our caster due diligence. Oh my gosh, look at this fight.
Yeah, the adepts are going to be able to sneak in, but Oracle working on them. They both lost their shields. Yeah, one's going to go down with the shield battery here. That means both are going to go down without getting anything done. Goblin defends beautifully.
Yeah, he got a canceled pylon and, well, just one probe. Nothing too big to write home about there. Not a mucho. But we have people surprised to see me after marathon stream last night.
Yeah, I don't know how you made it this morning, honestly.
I woke up extremely late, but luckily my father called, which got me up a little earlier than it would have been. Which makes me tired, but I don't know about you, but it's always nice to get closer to back to a normal sleeping schedule when you're off. Even if it's incremental.
Yeah. A good sleeping schedule is a good thing to have. I've been really bad about it lately. I won't lie. I've been spending my nights going out, probably spending too much time at the bar.
Oh, you've actually made your way out to the bar a little bit. We're trading places, bro. Chicken Man.
It's not been good. It's not been good. I'm gonna need to join you on the wagon soon. Yeah. Holy shit.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind talking about this openly in Twitch, and your Twitch too in mine. Like, it'd be different if it was somebody else's, like a tryhard like our buddy Dave. Nah. I'm finding I don't have as much of a problem as I thought. I definitely have one, but it's good to clean out. I have some other issues going on. It's just
I think the important thing is having things to occupy that space, right?
Yeah.
Because you spend time and you spend energy focused on drinking, and you could do other things with that time. And if you're not, then you really notice it.
Yeah.
And that's true for anything. Like anything that you're like, I need to cut back on this. It needs that time and energy focused on it needs to be spent doing something else.
Oh, for sure. And you know, that said, speaking of something else, look at this. Cristiano's probe makes it over, and I was gonna say it's even just pathing around the stasis ward, but it's gonna get trapped. But I think that's worth 50 minerals to scout that third going down.
Yeah.
Oh, but one thing, Cristiano, little mistake here. That's 2 stalkers to Oracle. Okay, they have blink. But realistically, Goblin could have taken that fight because 2 oracles will beat 2 stalkers, and you know who just told me that is Cristiano, ironically.
Yeah, but it's a bait. It's a bait, is what it is.
Yeah, because the other
ones. Because those other stalkers have blink, and they are not that far away. They were ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, but no, Chicken Man. That honestly, I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about it. Yeah, you've been kind of away from friends, away from civilization for a while. And I'm glad to hear you were getting out. You overall seem more chipper and happy now that you have some time where you can actually do some tournaments too. It's just, you know, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to getting back into the grind. You know what I mean? A little bit. It's tough, but like, it gives you a balance in things. You know what I mean? Like when you're just streaming and you're just casting, and say you were away from people, though, that's got to be. It gets tough because I do that in my own choosing, and I'm finding. You know, you need that social element too, like actual social element.
Yeah, like there is something really social, obviously, about Twitch, but it's not the same as interaction in real life, right? There is a difference, and I think you do need, at least I personally absolutely need that kind of real life social interaction. So being in a place with a lot of people and interacting with different groups of people has been a godsend to me. It is really giving me a lot of energy back.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Ooh, that's it. I didn't even we didn't check on the upgrades. Cristiano's a little behind on upgrades, but realistically, it's not too bad. He's just catching up on charge and +1, so it's not like Goblin's got this monumental lead. But the fourth base battle. No, actually,
yeah, they're just kind of poking and prodding around. Goblin has taken a pretty big supply lead, though.
Yeah, his army's massive. That's the bigger issue.
Yeah, that could be a big problem for Cristiano in a little bit here.
Yeah, Goblin, one thing I like about his playstyle is he is pretty quick on thinking about things like DTs. He has a cannon in his third, which was like a likely spot for the... a little ahead of Cristiano, a likely spot for DT Inquisition. But that said, oh my god.
Oh, Goblin just diving in here. He's trying to take a fight. He's trying to force a fight. And he does have that supply lead, so this could be a very good fight for him. But it's kind of a weird angle, and he's going to just go ahead and back on up.
Yeah, that was a smart move. For sure, that was like... Cristiano had like the concave advantage right there for sure.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
I love these stasis wards, though.
Yeah, it's a great way to catch some blink stalkers. Like, he's just posturing in here. He's like, yeah, come on after me.
Yeah, that could be pretty good when you're already in the lead.
Ooh, Cristiano, though. He's going for the fuck it strategy. He says, you're hitting my fourth base. I'm going to try to dive in your natural, but a big stasis trap catches like 7 stalkers. That's a lot of that DPS, and Goblin's going to take down the fourth base. He's got to go home. He's going to recall, but not all the stalkers can recall, and they're going back towards the third. So that means he's still going to be fighting uphill here. And Cristiano is finding a great position in the main base, but he has kind of trapped himself. Goblin's going to try to blink in, but it's so scary. You don't want to take a fight with just a handful of units at a time. That is a great way to let Cristiano take a good game here. Force field on the ramp even. This is a really dicey spot for Goblin to be in. He's going to take down the Prism, but he needs to kill the rest of these stalkers. Cristiano is going to be forced to blink out into the third base, and Goblin does take a bit of a supply lead here. Both players losing a lot of economy.
Well, that said, Cristiano lost his fourth through it. Did take out the Cyber Core, I'd like to point out, though. So that was a good catch. But, like, realistically, there's 5 Nexus.
He just blinked from one stasis trap to another, and Cristiano's going to tap out as he sees that fourth up and running. Goblin just has too much of an economy. He will eventually be able to get that Cyber Core back up, and it feels kind of insurmountable there for Cristiano.
The 1G.
The single G. That's all you get. At this point, I mean...
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a signature Cristiano move.
Yeah, it just was like, that was a tough game and an unfortunate position to be in PvP. PV heckin' P.
PV heckin' P. Yeah, PvP is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Let's get into this next lobby. I'm gonna grab some water while we hop in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Guess I'll get the intros. wait. Let's see. All right, spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Stargazers in the pink, representing Blazer. Give it up for Cristiano.
And his opponent.
Oh, there you are.
In the upper right-hand corner of Stargazers, we have Team Roddy's Goblin.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one on this map. There's so many fun possibilities in this map. Between the bottom gold base, the mineral outcrops, which you can't just mine out quickly like Golden Wall. I think this was a fun map to add. Like, I don't know about you, but I really like this map pool. It's like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I remember old Dave would be like, God damn it. Like, I hate the change, but I'm like, just so everybody's happy to have different dynamics. But these are actually kind of fun, cool maps.
I agree. I agree. There's a few, like, nothing super, like, unstandard. This is probably the least standard map, and I think it's good that we have something like this, but they're all so different. Like, they all feel so different from each other, and different enough from the last map pool that I don't really mind that they're all fairly standard. I think there'll still be enough new things on each map, so we'll still see some fun, interesting strategies, good proxy locations, taking advantage of map positioning, and what I'm really hoping for is that the map pool doesn't stick around for too long again. You know, I'd love to see a quicker change to the next map pool, because we have so many good maps available to choose from. I really wouldn't hate to see maps rotated out one or two at a time at a much quicker pace. You know, I wouldn't hate that.
Oh, for sure. And something with that said, what I do like about this pool in particular, this map, the fact that we don't have slow field zones and acceleration zones. Instead, like this map, this is something they could have done. You have the same kind of situation as the Zalnaga watchtower in the center. There's literally not a spot you could do a drop over there that's not seen if you take that tower.
Yeah, that's true.
Contesting that tower is huge in every potentially every matchup, even for Zerg. With mutas, or heaven forbid you have ventral sack overlords in the few and rare cases.
Yep, but it all comes down to having that watchtower, right? If you don't have it, then you got this big blind space behind your base.
Yeah, exactly, and I just think it's cooler because, I don't know, I think even talking to a lot of the pro players, they all just maul that, like the slow field zones prevent, like you literally can't get drops in and stuff. It's unfortunate. It changes. It kind of makes the game a little more like you're forced to, you know, have a little more standard, nothing too fun games sometimes. Like not standard, but you know what I mean. You're forced not to have any cool drops and stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a good use for things like slow zones and acceleration zones, but I kind of like not having them around sometimes too. It's I don't know. It's a tough balance.
Yeah, like in the middle of a map, I can see, but like this, you know what I'm saying? We had so many maps where they'd be on the I'm just saying, like on the outsides of the bases. Like, was it Ice and Chrome, or which one was it? Oh, Purity and Industry was like one of the worst maps that I've.
Yeah, no, that was. Well, it was, you know, they were fresh, they were new, right? But yeah. I'm not a big fan of that. I think, actually, Jagannatha was probably the most interesting use of them. I really liked the way the slow zones worked on... God, what was the one that was just in the map pool? Blackburn?
Blackburn, yeah.
I think the slow zones worked pretty well on Blackburn. You could still drop. You could still go through the middle of the map, but it was harder and you had to be careful. So I think they're getting better at using them. Like map makers really started learning, figuring out the best ways to use them, but sometimes the best way is to not use it. So we should talk about this though. Yeah. Christianer's got a proxy. I mean, this is 3-gate blink with a proxy gate. He is just gonna blink over this mineral patch because he's got vision from the watchtower. This is like exactly what we were talking about. Yeah, and it was scouted.
It was scouted too with this rev tag. I thought that was funny. He had the watchtower, but the Oracle's like, well, surprise, I see your army.
Yeah, and Christianer's going to try to hit the front, but there's a shield battery and a stasis trap here, and I feel like he's kind of missed his opportunity. to get that big damage done and blink into the natural base, which is mostly undefended, honestly.
Yeah, Goblin looks like he's in a pretty good position here. Christianer can jump over the mineral line, though, and that's quite undefended in this base.
Yeah, he's going to go straight in, start hitting some of these probes. There's an Immortal and a Void Ray and a Shield Battery, which is going to get overcharged. He's got enough Stalkers to kill this anyways, but he misses a shot, and he doesn't get it. The overcharge. Oh, Christianer dives forward, but I got to say, a little bit of missed micro, and that's going to be GG.
Yeah, and very much GG. We have base.
Yeah, Goblin just takes a super quick 2-0, and Christianer ends up... What does he end up doing? I know you want to say it.
He ends up gobbling these nuts.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, in honor of Bang.
In honor of Bang.
Because, you know, the bringer of Saucon.
That's right.
We have Base Thorn in my chat bringing up all the facts. And I kind of agree with this point on Cosmic Sapphire is probably our most standard map. Just a little bit bigger of a map, though, at that. Honestly, that's one I might veto. I think I finally found one that I'm going to veto Chicken Man. Yeah, just so big, and I feel like I've been dying. It's kind of a good Terran map, honestly. There's a lot of good tanks, but a lot of these maps are actually pretty good. Terran favored for depending on the pushes and stuff. From what I'm gathering all around, and I'm starting to see it.
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the maps yet to have a good idea of which is better for what.
I said Christiana versus Percival. It's Christiana versus Nicaract. And what I was going to say more too, back to what we said, Nicaract just wins the base.
Not Christiana versus, is Goblin Nicaract. You're way off base here.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm feeling the sleep deprivation a bit. And like you said, with short-term memory, I think there's a...
I feel you. I mean, I get it. I checked the bracket before I corrected you. I'll be completely honest. Yeah. No, I get it. I stayed out kind of late last night, closed the bar down, and then I delivered a pizza. I'm now a pizza delivery man. Yeah, that's right. Chicken Man, following the long line of animal-themed superheroes like Spider-Man and being a pizza delivery person. Somebody at the bar late last night was like, hey, I don't feel safe delivering this pizza because they want me to put it on top of a car. Can you just bring it and put it on top of the car? And I was like, all right. So there you go. Somebody ate a pizza last night. I hope they enjoyed it.
Put it on top of the car. Interesting.
Yeah, it was like a car at an intersection at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I got them covered.
Yeah. I wonder
what was
sketchy, in that pizza.
And
I'm starting to think, what's in that pizza? Was it
it's just a regular pizza? It's just a regular pizza. Nothing wild going on there.
Yeah. Well, nah, dude.
They didn't want to leave the car, you know? I don't blame them.
You know what? No, you actually sound really good, though, Chicken Man. I seriously, if I was to put months back you, full-time streamer man, Chicken Man, to right now, you regardless of overdoing it party, you just seem happier and there's a little more the energy I always think of when I think of Chicken Man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just seem like you just seem like you were emotionally, even when I met you, honestly, but you had a lot of travel and stuff like that. COVID's going on. I could just tell you seemed like you needed more of that, you know, peoples.
I absolutely did. You are very correct. Yeah, it was a struggle there for a while, but we got through it. Sometimes this is why, if you're asking me for how it feels to go from the bottom up, I fucking just did it. So I have very recent experience of feeling like absolute garbage for a while, and then finally pulling out of it. It can be a long road, and it is not easy.
Yeah.
But life, if there's one thing life doesn't do, it's stay the same, no matter what the fuck you want. So if it's bad, it'll be better, and if it's good, it'll be worse. It's how it's gonna fucking happen, no matter what, no matter who you are.
Shit, I just realized this is the finals. Maybe we'll get him into game number 2. I was thinking, I forgot about Aniketos. He's in with us.
Oh no! Oh, is he in here?
Yeah, we can get a call with him after the next one, maybe, because, you know, we're just starting it out.
Yeah.
Just for
Sorry, I was getting a bet set up. I wasn't paying attention.
No problem. Thank you, mods, for doing predictions. That's why I mod 900,000 people, because then eventually one of them will do it for one of the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I have a bunch of mods. They don't do shit. Shout out to my mods. I love them all, but they don't. Hey, goddamn. Maybe I need to mod different people. You got Thorn modded in there. Maybe that's the strat.
Yeah.
Mod somebody who actually does stuff.
You know, you never know. It's unpredictable. Well, that said, in the upper right-hand corner of Waterfall, give it up for our nicotine supplement Psystorm Gaming Terran player. It is Nicaract in the red.
Right, no need to smoke when you're covering Nicaract. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner. They say that he's gone Goblin mode, but we know he's been there the whole time. Goblin D's nuts. It is Team Roddy's Goblin.
You're probably one of the few preferred Protoss of APOP for some reason, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. One of the only Protoss players APOP seems to really like. Strange. I don't know why that could be. Proxying a gateway. You love to see it. I mean, you really do.
You know something? I always feel bad. Love the heck out of APOP. But usually, especially now that I'm not drunk in streams, he's had the misfortune of saving my ass in some streams when I was like super drunk, Testa, getting a little rowdy and gift subby. But like, I never can catch APOP streams, and I always enjoy the hell out of them.
It's because you're not enough of a degen. You're getting off that degen life, and APOP streams full degen hours, especially for East Coast.
Yeah, well now I've been there. Like, it was bad when Florencio was pulling a late night, and he actually raided into me last night. I'm like, all right, we've gotten to, speaking of degens, you know. Oh wait, look at this. It's a proxy 1 gate. What?
Oh yeah. No, this is the proxy 2 gate, so it's gonna be stalker pressure. With the Zealot to start off with. Nicaract with the low ground expansion off of single racks is gonna be in some trouble. This is a dicey situation, and I think he just now realized it by scouting that gateway.
It's actually something I'd been doing from time to time, which is funny. I'm like, maybe I'll go back to this. I gave it a rest because it's a bit of a dice roll, but you can get so much value so many times.
Yeah. Oh, gonna try to just run on by and get these SCVs, but good pull-offs from Nicaract here so far. He's doing a good job pulling off.
Yeah. Oof.
Sorry, it was a dirty joke. Oh my god, those Marines got the Stalker kill. If that Stalker had just run away, it had stayed alive.
And consequently, it is the extremely delayed Warp Gate and Nexus build of this. You get a few more Stalkers, but honestly, I wouldn't have hated if all he needed to do, it's only 2 Marines right then. He should have just jebaited in the left side and went behind it so he can get that. He definitely would have gotten that SCV and delayed it even more. But
yeah, Goblin's trying to find some damage here. The bunker's doing a good job. It's getting kind of low, though. Oh, great targeting from Goblin, honestly.
Yeah.
2 more SCVs come down, though. It's so low, but it stays up. The micro from both players has actually been pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's gonna hold it for Nicaract. Warp Gate's only about halfway done. There is a Stargate behind this, so some potential for Oracle damage. It was a Phoenix for a second, but now it's an Oracle.
Yeah, he's I was gonna say maybe he's just gonna go full Roddy mode representing the team, but that's not the case with the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, he might go to Phoenix after this, but I think he wants to scout and also potentially get some damage done.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Phoenix against Terran in a little bit. That's always a fun strategy. I like Phoenix against Terran.
Well, anytime you want to see Phoenix against Terran, you got a 100% chance when you fire up the Roddy stream.
Oh, I know, man. I haven't been on Roddy's stream in a while. I need to go hang out on Roddy's channel, man. Roddy was one of my first Twitch subs. Long time ago.
Really? No shit.
Yeah.
That's
when I first started subbing on Twitch, the only people who I subbed to before I subbed to Roddy, it was Day 9 in about 2012. And I subbed to In Control like a couple months before I subbed to Roddy back in 2015.
Well,
that was when I really started watching StarCraft again, was when Legacy came out.
No doubt. See, for me, being a late bloomer to Twitch and all this stuff, it took me a while before I even subbed to anybody because it was kind of like, you know, casually looking at stuff. It was Florencio.
Damn. Yeah. It's a good start. That makes sense. That tracks with you personally as well. I didn't really watch on Twitch because I would just, man, this feels such a lame thing to say, but it's really what the truth is. I used to just watch on Team Liquid. Their like embedded stream they had. I did not go to Twitch. I did not go into Twitch chat basically at all for the majority of like the first 4 years I watched StarCraft.
Hey,
I only subbed to Day 9 on his website.
Wow. Well, funnily enough, people still do it. So I wouldn't feel too bad about
I know.
it.
We probably have a bunch of people right now watching just through the Team Liquid embedded app. And I don't blame them. It's great for tournaments.
Yeah.
Not as good for personal streams, though. And you don't get that chat interaction. You know, both of us have amazing Twitch chats where you can really, you know, see some high-level quality commentary.
Well, I shouldn't say this probably, but fun fact, you know, as this crazy fight's going on.
There's a lot of Marines. Goblin, I think, will be able to defend this, but he's going to lose a lot of SCVs doing so. But he's going to clean up Nicorak's whole entire army. So I kind of feel like it's worth it for Goblin, who's on 3 bases now. He can just Chrono Boost some probes. Going to be a bit before he can catch back up, but Nicorak was building that army for a while, and he does not have a 3rd command center.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, this proxy still stands, so that's instant Zealot reinforcements, Chicken Man, potentially. Yeah. After that
Goblin did go into Phoenixes, and he went into the pretty standard these days mass charge lot follow-up to Phoenixes. So he's going to be annoying at the back with the Phoenixes, knowing that there's not enough army for Nicorak to deal with this and defend the front.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great counter damage from Goblin. I think I got to give him the lead right now.
Yeah, he is leading a little bit in terms of army, to say the least, but also buying time with these Phoenixes is huge because he can catch up on that. He's evening out the worker count because he's on 3 Nexus.
He's on 3 Nexus, chrono boosting probes, and he just killed 9 SCVs. But more than anything else, it feels like just the control of the game, right? Nicorak doesn't have the ability to put pressure out on the map right now. He can't pick up and drop because of Phoenixes. He can't leave because the Zealots will surround him and kill him. So he's got to just chill, but he doesn't have a 3rd CC, so he knows that every moment he's not actively out on the map, Goblin is getting further ahead.
Yep.
He's just getting further up.
Yeah, that said, he's going to take a 4th pretty soon, potentially. He's just feeling like, you know what, the heck with it. We're going to go and just keep going. He's going with it. He's going double forge, but we do have 1-1 for our Terran player, concussive shell. Well, 1-1 in a moment. Looking at pretty good.
Yes, it's looking nice. Yeah, this is, I mean, with more Phoenixes coming out, he's just trading with Marines. Honestly, this is starting to feel really, really rough for Nicorak. I don't really know what he does from here. I'd love to see some splash damage from Goblin. Storm would be great, but yeah, this is the answer for Nicorak. This is why the splash damage would be good. He's going to pull the boys. This is going to be great against charge lots.
Yeah, with no storms, no colossi, no disruptors. But the Phoenixes might be able to get the medevacs actually could be a factor in this. Without the
medevacs would be huge if he can get those. But there are quite a few right now. There's a big stim. Goblin just going to go for a force field. He's going to try to take a little bit of a fight, but just kind of buy time. The more warpins he can get, the better. I'd love for him to have some Zealots set up at the 3rd base so he could get us around, because this choke point is not going to be good for the Zealots.
Yeah, actually, with those force fields, a recall wouldn't have been a bad idea to just get that position And that tank's going to join the fight, which makes it a little rougher yet.
Yeah, Goblin's just going to give up his natural. I like this choice. It's kind of a tough move to make, but sometimes giving up the base is the way to go. He's picking off reinforcements. He just wants to buy as much time as possible, get as many warpins as he can. Look at this defensive setup in the main. Super shield batteries, got cannons. And Nicorac's like, all right, I guess I'm out of here. And yeah, I'd love to see a recall to the third, but it looks like Goblin's just going to try to run up here. He doesn't want to give up the third, but I think he could still stay in the game even if he lost that third. He's going to go for it. Yeah, lifting up the tank. SCV's on the wrong side of the fight, so the Zealots take a good start to the fight, but I think there might just be too much bio here. The army supply is still so similar. All the medevacs are finally gone, but there's just no ground forces left for Goblin.
Yeah, you know, with these 2 batteries, though, and the cannons, oh my god, there's no medevacs.
Oh, Nicorac, don't do it. Don't do it, Nicorac. It's not worth it. Maybe it is slow warpins, though. Oh, no, the slow warpins.
The humanity.
The Protoss manity. All right, the Phoenixes are coming in. They're going to try to finish this off. These units are so low. Probes, honestly, should probably be pulled at this point, but...
Yeah, truthfully.
Zealots are trying to finish it off. There's so little Phoenix energy, they just can't... They can't clean it up.
Well, we have the token probe going to fight with the Zealot. And the shield battery saves it.
Yeah, it stays alive. I mean, Goblin's holding on here. The worker count is very similar. Goblin has the Phoenixes. That's probably the biggest thing here for Goblin. Nicorac knows he did enough damage to, like, stay in the game. I don't know. Does he know about that 4th base, though? He doesn't. He doesn't have confirmation on it. So he might think he's ahead right now when it's honestly an even game.
Yeah, it really is. There's still 3 Nexi, and as the clock's ticking with these Phoenixes, 1-1 coming. Granted, a lot of the production was gone. I think it's looking more and more in favor. Actually, yeah, he's still got 6 gateways.
6 gates, yeah. 7 gates because he's got the proxy.
Yeah, that proxy was scouted and not dealt with, so... Again, that could come into play. That's what I was hoping to see. Even through it, a couple Zealots going in would have made GG, I think. Because behind it, they could have picked up reinforcements. Went into a middle line.
I think Nicorac needs to just go again.
Yeah.
I feel like, because if he lets Goblin get up to 1-1, they're going to be on even upgrades. There's Ghosts coming out, though.
Yeah,
Ghost could really do a lot here.
Yeah, Ghost with enhanced shockwave is just absolutely devastating. Especially when you don't have any Robotech.
Nicorac just doesn't have any economy left, though. Like, his natural is going to start getting mined out really soon here. His main is pretty much cooked. He's just not going to have any mining in a little bit, and he needs to go sooner rather than later. That 1-1 is done for Goblin. And Goblin can start getting static defense up again. He's just going to get a lot of Zealots out, but Nicorac's on pure Marine Ghost, which is very strong against this composition.
Oh, imagine Terran.
That's what I was going to say. When it's this many Marines, this is like, and Ghost at that, like, these Phoenixes are not going to be doing well. Phoenix Zealot, Phoenix Colossus would shred this army, but Phoenix Zealot?
Any amount of splash damage would shred this army, but it's just not here, and 16 probes go down. This 4th base, it looks like Goblin's just going to let it go. And that's a good victory for Nicorac.
Yeah, Goblin does have the army supply lead, though. If he takes a good fight.
Big EMPs, not a lot of lifts here for the Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes can just kill the medevacs, and that's still pretty good value. Are there enough Zealots, though? As more EMPs go down on top of these Zealots, they run out of shields, and there's still Marines left. Marines are actually overpowered. Can we get a Terran, please? What is going on here? Imagine Terran, Dave. Imagine Terran.
Yeah, Thorn pulled the Imagine Terran in chat, funnily enough.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows it.
I mean, it's not over yet. Honestly, the Stalker Warpin is pretty clutch here for Goblin. Those Stalkers against the low hit point Marines are really, really nice.
Yeah, and that said, again, the clock's ticking. The proxy's finally going to go down, and here's the boys pull.
No, that's the main floating to the 3rd. This is the boys mining right now.
Yeah.
Phoenix is coming in, though. They're going to try to scout. They're going to see this base coming over. They're going to grab a medevac. That's really, really nice. These Phoenixes have been huge value.
Oh, yeah. That was a drain medevac, but he even got the hero medevac, chicken man.
The hero. It's not a hero anymore.
Yep.
There goes my hero. Dying to the Phoenixes.
Yeah, and fortunately,
This
that's
is wild.
This really is. It's like a rough army to have for Goblin. If he was in a position where he could trade it out, like if he had 4 base saturation, he could just be like, well, we can do whatever these Phoenixes be annoying, and then let's just, you know, go into units that'll actually fight this army better. But he can't. I know it's expensive to lose, but like at some point, usually you trade him out, and he just can't.
Goblin's trying to just get into pure Stalker at this point. Not even worrying about Zealots anymore. His 2/2 is finished up, so he's got a huge upgrade lead. I'm actually shocked he's starting up +3 armor. I think probably spend your money on units at this point, because Nikaract is just gonna pull. I mean, maybe not pull the boys, but he's gonna pull everything together and go again pretty soon, I think. And Goblin needs to just get as many units as possible. I don't think this is the time for upgrades.
Well, I like that he's going back. Oh, the EMP, though, from the Ghost right up his form was huge on those Phoenixes. I was going to say, if he can keep picking off Ghosts and Marauders as they get made, that helps him. But this is looking rough now that the Stalker is going to bite him a little bit.
The force fields go down to force Nikaract into the natural, but you know what? Nikaract is just fine with that. He's going to stim right in here. He's going to grab that natural nexus again. It just finished. And, I mean, Nikaract he's in a great spot here. I think he's just going to have too strong of an army. Zealots and Stalkers trying to take the fight. The Phoenixes come into it, but the bio wins again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look at all the...
I mean, that's a big stim for no medevacs. Once again, the Phoenixes have killed... How many medevacs this game? 21 medevacs have gone down in this game.
Holy shit. Worst time for the fight, but yeah, it's so close.
Is it just not enough? The shield battery overcharge helps, but it gets taken down and more bio units stim in. And that's going to be GG. Goblin held as long as he could, but Nikaract wasn't Goblin any nuts this game.
No, he was not. Very brilliantly held by, or pushed by our Terran player. What a scrappy game. I don't know about you, but that was probably one of the cooler ones I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, that was a wild game.
Certainly quite scrappy McDappy.
Scrappy. A scuffed game, if you will.
That is very, very true. All right. Oh, let's get Aniketos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I am going to hit him up. Aniketos is pretty... Okay, I'm going to find which... He's got like 2 Discord names. He's a little bit of a Discord boomer.
Discord boomer.
Oh. I asked for a minute and Goblin... Oh, shoot.
Man, it is hot in here right now, dude. I'm not about it.
Trying to... Oh, boy. He might have a rough time. You know... He's a little newer to casting, but looks like he's getting his stuff dialed in a little more, too. Nice. Good.
Good, good.
All right.
Do it.
Do it. All right, here we are in DaveTestaSC in the bottom left-hand corner of... Well, I just said it. It's Nikaract in the red representing Psystorm Gaming.
That's right. He's up 1-0. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the 2 o'clock position. It is Team Roddy's Goblin.
The man, the myth, the legend. Do you mind if I type a message in OBS? It's just us.
Yeah, go for it.
Because he's like impossible to Discord and the stream delay and all. Not impossible, but
fair. That's impossible. No. That's impossible.
Yeah.
No. No proxies this game. At least not yet.
You know, I was trying my best with all my TTS under different names. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, no proxies. It was funny how the two were kind of going back and forth before, and Nicarac, you know, bringing up Goblin's history as a cannon rusher.
You know, Goblin has never been averse to doing whatever strategy he thinks will win.
Nope.
That's why we respect him.
All right, so I was heading somewhere, Chicken Man. I was trying my best to get him in, but Sal is continuing his trend. Except for live cast with Dave, he's not gonna join us. Cause how base would that be to have Sal? Just like one series, even. Like, come on.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard some of his casting. It's all right, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's just fun. It's just Sal. He's got the Sal voice.
He does. He does. I do love Sal. It'd be a good time. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I bet you he'll cave one day. I could see it happening. Because I was shocked to see that for week 2 after the 100th EPT Steadfast did. To see it 2 times in a row, you know, good things can happen, you know.
Yeah. The live casting is good times.
Yeah, I was.
All right. All right, Cheeky Reaper getting a couple of kills before even getting in the bunker. I'm gonna go hang out here and be extremely annoying for a long time. We saw Nicarac do this earlier on, and it was extremely successful.
Dracata actually just goes, have you tried not being hot? That's his solution to you, Chicken Man.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
No, it didn't work. Thanks, Draket. Good suggestion.
Oh, man. All right, let's see if Goblin does it a little different than we saw previously. Is he going to save a battery overcharge? It looks like he is. Look at this micro for both of them, though.
They're going hard at it, but the 2 stalkers are going to be able to take this bunker down. Oh, tries to focus the SCV down. I think even with the SCV healing it, he should be able to take this down. And yeah, Nicarac's going to give it up. Kinda. Still microing his heart out with these Reapers, but he's not going to get the salvage on the bunker.
No, he's not, and he's going to get both Reapers. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's really nice for Goblin.
That was really good hull damage, and he did what I was hoping for, but sadly he saved yet another chrono boost out of it, though, but weird trades economically.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, it's hard to say how much this really does, because Nicarac mined a lot more during that time. Now that it's over, though, Goblin will be able to pull it right on back. Was it worth losing both Reapers and SCV and the bunker? It's kind of hard to say. It's tough to say.
Raid from Smoke.
One says, ha ha ha, wow, look at these gamers gaming, ha 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 ha, wow.
Yeah, that's funny, Drake, with the TTS. Well, thank you, Smoke, for the fake raid, because that way I'm not going to be follow-botted. Chicken Man, I just wanted to point out, he got follow-botted with 12,000 followers.
Oh, yeah.
That's when it stopped.
That's really something, man. That is super fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know why people would do that. Why would you waste your time doing that to somebody? But hopefully it doesn't cause them any actual issues.
Yeah, Ravi wouldn't even do that.
Well, all right, hold on. Let's not assume what Ravi would and would not do, because you never know. For the meme, I think Fear Dragon would do a lot.
Oh yeah.
Nicarac's pushing out, and these stalkers have found it. I think Goblin's probably okay taking a little bit of a trade here, but he doesn't want to lose anything. He just wants to kill things. Which I know sounds silly, but very important he doesn't lose any of these stalkers.
Yeah,
he's doing a great job. I mean, this stalker micro from Goblin is actually insane.
Yeah, this is
Ooh, the SCV repair though is really nice. If he can keep this Banshee alive. Finally, a stalker goes down, but with more warp-ins, Goblin's gonna hit the high ground here. He's got the shield battery.
But is
Could overcharge again.
Is the high ground enough, though, is the question. I don't know. It seems like in so many of these situations, it's usually pretty Terran favored in a lot of these cases.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Nikaract is able to get set up here, he's putting a bunker down, he's got 2 siege tanks. It's going to be very nice for Goblin, who's turned on the super shield battery, but is still going to lose a handful of stalkers, just a couple.
Yeah, he did take out a lot of the Marines, so that does leave a little bit of an opening, and the SCVs. He just needs to take out the tanks, which is easier said than done with 2 Banshees.
Yeah, I mean, the less support there is for the tanks, the easier they'll be to take out, but he's losing gateways. Charge is not quite done yet. Charge would be a huge boon to this, though. If he can finish up Charge, that would be massive.
Yeah, I feel like Nikaract's playing with a little bit of a big Gabe kind of push here. It's pretty strong.
It's a strong push. I have a feeling, though, I actually think Goblin can clear this.
Yeah, I do too.
It's going to be tough, but there's just not a lot of support. 3 Banshees, though, is a good amount of DPS. You have to be really careful about that.
Yeah, it's basically about getting the Zealots. If he can get the Zealots in on top of the tanks. Oh, but the natural, that battery is going down. He needs to do something.
Yeah, the battery is going to die. The Nexus is going to die. He's got to pull the trigger. He's pulling a few probes with this as well, which is really nice. The Stalker's taking big hits, but they're going to blink forward on top of the tanks, and that means they won't get hit by the tanks anymore. The Banshees will all go down. The tanks will all go down. And that is a clear.
He holds by a knife's edge, Chicken Man.
Yeah, but look at that worker count. Nikaract has not stopped making SCVs this whole time. He's up to 52. So Goblin on 2 bases, down quite a few workers. It's not a good situation for him.
Yeah, that is certainly unlucky. It's that time where you wish you could have more.
He's got the Prism in the main base, though. And he's going to hit at the natural. Oh, man, there's no support for these tanks. The Zealots are just going to get right on top of them.
Yeah, that was
This is actually fantastic counter damage here for Goblin.
Yeah, it's the kind that Goblin needed, but you know what? I can see in a world where this continues on with the right fights, this could just be game-ending damage with that War Prism. Because, again, Stim not done. That means no combat shields, so Stalkers are a lot better. And he has, wow, it's even a loaded Prism. Yeah, he's gonna go back.
He's just waiting. He wants to catch Nikaract out of position. If Nikaract tries to push out, that Prism's going to go straight on in there. And in the meantime, Goblin's just going to keep poking with the Stalkers. Nice scout on that Observer, though. Nice spot.
Yeah, Stim's still not done. The clock's ticking. See what I would have liked to see him do? Yeah, he's debating the bio into the Nat. If he jumps on top of the tank with the Zealots, he can clean up the rest of that mineral line. And, yeah, but let's see if he does it. Yeah,
he's going right in.
He's doing just that.
And like you said, Stim is not done yet. Oh, he wants to try to get the tank. Not enough SCVs can get to it, though, and down goes the siege tank. All the Zealots get picked up. Stalkers come back in to poke at a few of these Marines once again. Just going to grab 3 or 4. Goblin has taken some fantastic trades in the last 2 minutes. Oh, and there's the big warping in the main of the charge lots. Stim is finally done, though, so the Prism will go down. The Zealots are going to trade a little bit here, but not take the best trades in the world.
Yeah, I think
but the Stalkers go back into the main at the same, or the natural. Goblin just finessing his way to a lead in this game.
Yeah, he's got some really battered Stalkers, and losing the War Prism's rough. But you know what? You're absolutely right. Combat shields finishing up, be damned. He's cleaned up a lot. It's forcing a boys pull yet again. A 3rd base is down behind us. Goblin, I wouldn't. That's a rough
Goblin
call.
needs to be prepared, but you know what? He's got 3 Archons morphing in right now, and an Immortal. Those are kind of tough units to deal with. This is not a pure gateway kind of army.
Yeah, and he picked off one of the reinforcing medevacs. These Marines were so overstimmed, and even the workers. Those are 2 drained medevacs, Chicken Man, so this is going to certainly help the cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Just not a lot of healing energy. Every stim is super painful. Goblin's going to evacuate this 3rd base, but Nikaract doesn't care about the 3rd base. He's going for the throat. He's going to get the Prism. The Archons drop out, but they just don't have enough support. And this bio army, the Stalkers are so late to the party. Oh, man, it felt like Goblin had it, but he just needed to hold. Can he actually get this hold off?
I think he can. That's a damaged Nexus, but he should be attacking with those I think he should have attacked with the probes for a second while they were on top of the bio, because the medevacs are drained. But that said, Chicken Man, I think he does hold.
He does. He does it. The worker count is terrible for both players. It's actually still a very close game. Goblin lost a lot there.
But he does have 3 Nexus production, and our Terran player just continually pushing out, which I don't agree with. Oh no, but he missed micros.
Ooh, the big blink forward. He's going to get stimmed. A couple Stalkers going to get picked off. There is a Colossus on the way, though. It's very close to being done. If Goblin can hold on for a little bit longer, the shield battery, I think he might be able to.
Yeah, he doesn't
that
have...
Colossus will be fantastic against what is essentially pure Marine right now.
Well, one thing he does have is some charge lots, too, to help debate for the Stalkers, potentially. Oh, there it is. Colossi.
Yeah, and as soon as that Colossus gets seen, Nicarax will tab out. He is done, and that means we're all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that is certainly something.
You want to hop into one of your voice channels?
Yeah,
Is that
let's
easier
go.
for Anikitos?
Yep, let's do that.
All right.
In AVC. Let's go into one of the voice channels. Okay. Aniketos.
Hey.
Man, how's it going?
Not bad. What's up, buddy? We got you in here. We were trying to before, but we got to jump ahead, so we finally got it here. So we got some games to cast together.
Right.
Dave, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? That seems like a no.
I can see your guys' like audio things coming up like you're talking, but I don't hear anything.
You have to listen with your ears. Listen, use your special ears, Anikitos. And change your default. He can't hear me. I don't know why I'm telling him things.
Yeah.
Yeah, change those settings.
We'll message him in game. He says it's showing voice.
Shoot.
Okay.
All right, tech support.
Audio?
Tech support time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me check. Discord.
I'm hungry. It's food time.
Yeah, I ate a little bit, and you know what? I'm actually feeling that as well.
I ate some delicious food. I made some fish and roasted veggies, salmon and roasted veggies yesterday. That was delicious. I ate that earlier.
Oof. I gotta get cleaning so I actually can make some good foods.
Yeah, that's the struggle. Is I like make this good food, and then I need to clean. There's so much to clean now. I don't want to clean. I just wanted to cook. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear us? He said okay. I messaged.
Voice and
Can
audio.
you hear me now? He's still working on it. I believe. That's okay. Goblin's still AFK too. Goblin needs a minute, so we chilling.
We be chilling.
We jamming.
Goblin making it to the finals. This is
Hey!
Hey, you can hear us?
I did it. Yeah,
oh
I think
my
so.
god. There he is.
My chicken man.
Oh man,
What's up,
Chicken Man.
Anikitos?
Not much. Happy to be here. Happy to have figured out Discord.
We got there. The tech support stream.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Dave coming in with the clutch screenshot.
Dave's got you covered.
Yeah, there we go. We got you, bud. We got your fam. And congrats and voice on your up and coming child, my man. That was pretty sick news.
Thank
Oh
you, Dave.
damn. That's
Yeah.
real news. Congrats.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest life thing I've ever had happen. So I'm looking forward to it. It's
Damn.
it's exciting.
Super sick.
So
I love it.
And if my family's listening, I'm sorry you found out this way, but Twitch chat find out first though.
Twitch chat okay. Before family. That's how it goes.
Well, you can't tell family until a certain point, so it's kind of
that's true.
Yeah,
it's against the rules.
I have like 3 family members on here. Actually, it's funny. None of the IRL people really on. I have 2 younger Zoomer cousins and my brother Evan. Outside of that,
yep,
it's pretty funny. But that's awesome.
Gotta appreciate the family support. Shout out to all the family support out there.
Yee.
Is there a way to make it so Discord isn't... Oh, okay, awesome. I just hit it. Never mind.
Nice.
Nicarak's popping off.
Yeah, he's a very strong Terran player. Dracat even in chat mentioning how he's like, wait, Nicarak beat Maxpax? It's happened a few times in these tournaments.
Yeah.
And I think
there's some upsets.
Nicarak's a very underrated player, I feel like. As is Goblin.
People forget about Goblin, you know? You don't think about him for a bit, and then he comes in and he just bops some nerds.
Yeah, especially in PvP, I feel like there's... Like, he's so solid in the... It seems like he goes for the 1-gate fast expand every time. And just rallies that Oracle across the map and sees what he can get done, so...
PvP is such a difficult thing to figure out, but I feel like Goblin has the brain for it. By that, I mean smooth as a marble.
But we let Aniketos do the first. I'll let you two.
All right. Spawning in the top left, representing Storm. It is Nicarak.
And his opponent, in the lower right-hand corner, we've got Team Roddy's Goblin.
I hear that little chuckle now, Chicken Man. You can't unthink it now, can you?
Oh, I can't. It's there. It's permanent now.
If I could ever... Yeah, I know how to get Steadfast to say it, right? If we can convince Beowulf to say it, once he says it, those two will never stop. You know that's how the key.
I think you got a better chance of getting Steadfast to say it than Bayo.
Really?
I think Bayo... Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't think Bayo's going to do it. I don't think he's going to go for it.
Yeah, but you know he's going to smile every time if he does. He does have that going, at least.
See, Bayo's... He's on the up and up. You know, he's trying to grow his brand and be the professional. Yep. So he can't go for things like Goblin These Nuts. I gave up on that shit like 6 months ago. I was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
So we've Goblin these nuts all day, but Steadfast, he's walking the fine line. You know, he can appreciate a good joke like that, and he's secure enough, I think, in his casting position where he can get away with one of those every now and then.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Ooh, look at that. He forces the CC. Out of position, taking...
Oh my god, an out of position command center. What will Nicarak ever do? He'll just move it. He'll just move it is the answer. That's it. Imagine Terran, guys.
Yeah, he's just gonna be able to pick it up and lift it. Sorry, Aniketos.
I put my Nexus off 1 hex and it ruins my entire game. This is so unfair that Terran can just lift that up and...
True.
All right. When are we gonna get some fairness in esports? Come on, Frost Giant. Stormgate better be fair. No, I don't want any Terrans, any Protoss, or any Zergs in Stormgate.
Yeah, and I don't think
all those races are OP.
That they are. You know? Imagine a game without Terran, Zerg, or Protoss. You know something though? Everybody's on Hopium. I'm kind of like, well, I still think it could be good, but I just have a feeling there's going to be... StarCraft's still going to hold its spot as long as the servers are on. much like Brood War is still kicking in its own way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely still going to be, you know, people playing StarCraft. But I feel like StarCraft 2, the professional scene, is just going to full swap over to Stormgate.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a very, very small remnant of a professional SC2 scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be people who really don't like Stormgate, most likely.
Yeah.
We'll see. Could be really good. I mean, I like the adaptability. Some of the ideas they have are great. Oh, look at this. It's 4-gate blink from Mr. Goblin.
Yeah, Goblin went for 4-gate blink last game as well.
Mm-hmm.
The classic.
So. Nicorak likes his 2-base shenanigans, so I wonder if that's kind of just like, I got to hold against the tank and the Banshees and the bunkers, so let's get out as many blink stalkers as we can.
Yeah, and ultimately a decent... I don't hate this Hellion wall, and this might actually pay off. It's going to be a Hellion drop with the...
It's going to be Marine drop, and I think the Hellions will hit the front.
And I don't know if he just caught the medevac or not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if he saw the medevac, and if he did, does he assume there's Marines in it, or does he assume it's empty?
Whoa, I don't know if he did. Yeah, look at this, though. Blink is on the knife's edge of finishing, and those aren't Stim Marines, but yeah, okay, the medevac's not going to shut it down.
Ooh, Goblin out of position with... Those Hellions might be able to get in. Goblin just went across the map with those.
Oh, he drops the pylon, though. It's a good play by Goblin. He's going to at least delay that while he deals with the drop. Blink is now done, and he gets the medevac. And those Hellions have not broken through. Yeah, great defense from Goblin.
Take him down to Kirktown.
Yeah, what up, guys? Chatterino. But yeah, this is crazy. Goblin, you're not wrong. Goblin just held that like a champ.
And I have like 7 stalkers across the map with a warp prism. He's going to do so much damage here. That tank can't cover everything, so...
Yeah, the stalkers here are just going to dive right forward. Great micro with the prism. Nicorak's going to hold for now. Another tank pops out at a very opportune moment. But more stalkers coming across the map. The Hellions are now dead. It doesn't have to worry about the counter pressure.
Oh, the Reaper, and Goblin micros to kill the Reaper. Yeah,
Too good this kid.
Yeah, he is quite good.
That natural bunker's looking mighty exposed.
It's looking a little alone, isn't it?
Uh-huh. In a dark alley late at night.
Oh, man. And a stalker's coming.
Yeah,
that's a dead bunker.
Blink
the tank sieges
even.
up. Oh, is he going to blink on it? No, he's going to pull back. Goblin playing it a little safe. Take some damage on the extra tank. Yeah. The Observer just came out, so it's just going to be able to come over, see what's going on. He's daring him to try to kill that Observer.
Yeah, it is kind of funny because there's a Raven, and look, it's just out of range of the Marines.
He's like, I know you can see this, and I don't care.
Yeah, he's going into charge and +1 behind it, which is kind of nice. And look at this, he's out DPS in that bunker.
Yeah. The tanks just can't be everywhere at once. Third one is popping out, though. It's a nice position for it to be in. Ooh, that is a lot of damage from those tanks. Oh, Goblin. Gotta get out of there.
Yeah, that is.
But the third base behind it is done for Goblin. I would like to see him start probing it up, though, because he's chilling at 49 right now. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, there he is.
Nicorak really doesn't like to put that third CC down. He likes to just lift the main base and drop it on the third. Like I feel like his worker count's always in like the mid-50s when he's on 2 bases, and then he just pulls them all and does this massive 2-base push. So I guess they serve a purpose, but it's just like if you had a third base and like you expanded on 3 bases, I feel like you'd power up beyond what Goblin could.
Yeah, but think about a third base costs like 550 minerals for an orbital. What if you just didn't spend that money and instead build a few more Marines?
Like it once says Dave,
you know, think about that.
That's true. And send the boys.
As you're talking about this, though, he drops a third CC, so he must have heard you spiritually.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, you're right, Aniketos.
Yeah. For once,
Master's
the
3
casters
wisdom.
are correct.
Yeah.
Hey, you're better than both of us.
Yep. We have a track record on ladder of me never beating Aniketos once. I think I was close once, kinda.
Yeah, well, it's always scary when your first immortal, like, I'm going for stalkers and you're going for proxy immortal stock, like, void ray.
Proxy Immortal pretty good. That shutdown on the Colossus pretty good, but Charge Lots and Blink Stalkers, very strong. Very strong composition.
Yeah, with this +1 and extended thermal lance coming in and the Colossi still alive, I think Goblin may just seal the deal here, guys.
Honestly, the most impressive thing about the Blink micro earlier is that he was somehow able to macro behind it and get charge, Colossi, and a 4th base up.
Yeah.
So that when Nicarak pushed across the map, there's just no chance. And there's the counterattack. GG, Goblin goes up 2-1.
Yeah, that is good stuff. Good series. Aniketos, how were you having fun on your side of things?
Yeah, I was. I wasn't able to get my audio working, so I was kind of casting without game audio, but I was able to figure it out, so super happy about that. So,
Nice.
voice meter banana can get a little bit difficult sometimes.
Oof. Voice meter. I
And
hate it.
Streamlabs OBS, you know, I know
Oh.
I know I should be using Streamlabs,
Oh,
but
you hurt my heart.
the
No wonder you're
Cardinals
having
sin.
audio problems.
Yeah. Just problems in general, you know.
Yeah, just all the
OBS.
problems. Streamlabs obs. I'm so sorry. We'll get you off of it one day.
Yeah.
I
You know,
see the
we all
memes
make
and I'm
mistakes
like,
at the start.
yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm at a loss for trying to get customized stuff away because I'm getting tired of it. And I'm like, well, I pay for their stuff for mostly just for the merch and some things, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
I switched merch. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over it. We're on Teespring now. We're away from this. Listen, I don't have alerts for my merch, but you know what? The quality is so much better.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I'll do the. Oh, you got it, Dave.
All right. All right. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the red, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Nicorrect.
And in the bottom right, representing Team Roddy, it is Gobbers.
We get some Apopto Gobbers in the chat. Anybody?
Yee. Base pop. Oof.
So Goblin did this, or Nicorrect did this Goblin did this in game 1 with like the proxy gateway. I wonder if he'll go for it again, but I don't think you show your probe that early if you want to do like a proxy gateway.
But that's the real meta. Is, oh, I wouldn't proxy gateway after showing this probe, but then you proxy the gateway anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Goblin level of thinking right there.
There's the perfect hiding spot too with that pocket third.
And Nicorrect is being relentless at pulling the SCVs, but Goblin being quite a nuisance. And is he going for a proxy? Or is he just... No, he's going to try to hide out to maybe get a little delay on the CC.
I love it when Steadfast says nuisance. And then like hearing the other casters like slowly incorporate it into their cast is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a nuisance.
A nuisance. That's a good word. That is a good word.
I hate
yeah,
to say
I'm gonna
it.
steal that one.
But there's so many Steadfast isms that come out in my cast because I've watched so much damn Steadfast. It's just, I have to say it. I'm like a Steadfast ripoff. Just less handsome and
But just Steadfast.
Senses, yeah. Exactly.
You know, we're all budget Steadfast at heart, really.
Yeah. The dedication to cast all 3 weeklies, like that is...
It's a lot. It's a lot
It's-
to do that.
that's a
consistently.
lot
And
of-
not take like a single one off for that long is wild.
Yeah.
The time and energy, like dude must be so tired going into work sometimes, casting Asia.
It'll get you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, for me, I've literally, like when I'm back in the grind on things, Asia's going to be like the least of my concerns in I love it. And it's just like, I know it's gonna be so rough getting back into normal sleep patterns or human sleep patterns that it's gonna be the least of my priorities. We'll put it that way. I love the shit out of it though.
I mean, the prize pool boost with Shopify kind of helped Asia out, but it seems after they changed the prize pool back, Asia has really been struggling to like keep the lights on. You know, it's like 14 players sign up and 10 check in, or I've seen some pretty depressing turnouts in Asia, so I hope they get those numbers up. Or
it's tough. It's never been particularly good. I don't think I've ever seen more than 40 players in it. Like, very rarely even over 30, honestly. But that being said, there's almost always a kick-ass round of 16. Like, you'll get 8 really sick players, 8 more pretty solid players. And then, you know, you get a lot. I feel like it's the same amount of pro players as the other regions. It's just nobody else.
Yeah,
nobody
there's
else
like
plays.
two or three like diamond and below players. Like it's really just like you're either 5.5K above or you're not signing up. Or
well, the other thing, that being said, this is really paramount right now in the game that Goblin denies the scout, because this looks like Stargate, but this is a Dark Shrine. We're going DTs.
It's dank shrine o'clock. Nicaract has an engineering bay coming up though, so I feel like this might be pretty good for him. I feel like he's thinking about it. Ooh, and he's gonna be able to sneak in. Can he get up and see? Get the confirmation on the Dark Shrine. Yeah, it's brutal for Goblin.
Well, at the same time,
those adepts are not gonna transition.
I've seen plenty of games where DTs still do quite well with good micro. Detection be damned. Especially when there's no Raven in a 1-1. No, actually it was a 2-1. What? He's going for a 2-1-1.
A classic build.
I'll be honest, this is a good 2-1-1 map in any case, but especially against Zerg. I've seen some nasty TVZs because of that back. Because the Zerg's obviously, any Zerg with half a brain or a quarter of a brain is not going to take the back base because of creep spread. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, absolutely.
This is definitely looking like a Gambit play, though. I agree completely with both of you, because...
Yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely this gets too much done. Might get a couple of SCVs, but has to be super careful.
Yeah, and actually the Viking's going to be just as annoying as...
Oh, the Liberator. No, where are these probes going? Oh, man. I mean, this is a lot more SCV damage than I thought was going to happen. Good targeting from Goblin.
Yeah, Goblin actually damaged a Widow Mine in the Widow Mine drop. What a weird... Another weird one, guys.
Yeah, the Widow Mine drop hasn't done too much, and I don't think it can with that Widow Mine in the red.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, not against the Adepts, which will auto-target it, right, as soon as it drops out.
Yeah, even I think the one Adept just wins it as it drops even in the third base. Pocket third. Oh, no combat shields.
It's taken out, though.
Yeah, but it forces another scan, and I mean, I feel like those DTs did a lot better than I had expected. Goblin's going to run in with yet another DT, and I love this kind of play. You will run out of scans eventually.
Yeah, and
theoretically.
And without enough reinforcements. And more than just that, he's got a charge follow-up, so that could be pretty nice too, but it...
Yeah, there is no more scans, so I mean, if Goblin can get a few more, like, Dark Templars out, he can start picking away at the army, but the pocket third really helping out in this situation. I think you lose your third at that point if you have it out and exposed.
Now, in line with some of what was happening earlier, we're actually seeing a third base out of Nicaract in this series for potentially... Was it the first time in this matchup between Goblin?
No, he built a third CC last game.
Yeah, about 7:15 it usually comes up.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, we're feeling the D-Gen ladder marathon kicking in more and more as my memory just isn't there. I'm telling you, Chicken Man, that's the short-term memory loss, it's sleep.
That's big true. That's big true. The my plan of closing down the bar and then waking up at 9 for cock of the walk, also, it's a bit of a struggle at this point. 7 hours into the stream.
Yeah. You do sound like you woke up pretty good for this, because I was watching you earlier. You did sound like you were a little tired for a little while there.
Hey, you know, caffeine, hell of a drug.
Yeah, this coffee's not doing much for me, though, I feel like, sadly, in my case.
Damn.
I went and got chocolate, and I already had like locally roasted, really good Guatemala beans.
Oh my God.
That I get
All
from
right.
the city in Salt Lake. But I went and got more creamer. I got me some like fair trade chocolate, and so I had chocolate and coffee, and it was solid. Ate an entire candy bar,
Damn.
which is pretty taboo in this household. My wife is probably gonna be pretty mad at me, but
I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. You just like, you came in with the fancy. You're like, well, I already have some Guatemalan coffee beans, but I need to go get some fair trade chocolate from the city.
the London fog was slightly off today.
But I ate a whole candy bar, so you know, we all have our faults.
Fair trade.
I'm like, one candy bar? I ate like 6 yesterday. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
They're like the super rich ones, though. You know, like you eat an entire one and you do feel like crap after. Like, they're not just like a Hershey's. Like,
Yeah.
like I
Well, it's
can
just
pound
like a
lot
chocolate
of
bar?
those.
You know
Yeah,
what dark
but-
chocolate is really good with? Is like a good scotch, good single malt scotch. You just sip on it, eat some dark chocolate, quality combo.
Yeah.
Shout out to the scotch lovers out there.
You know, I have to say, I go long periods of time without eating any kind of candy, because you know what happens with old Dave? I'll go lengthy periods of time, but then it'll be something random. Like, say, like Sour Patch Kids. I'll buy a 5-pound bag and it'll be gone in 2 days.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, literally like sick.
I can't do that because I did the same thing, and then
My
I just
teeth
feel
hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I forfeit 3 days of my life when I do stuff like that.
So I exist solely off of coffee and cigarettes. And oddly enough, maybe I'm just so much of a Frank Zappa fan, because they always used to say his diet consisted, to him, cigarettes were a food group, but like he lived basically, his #1 cuisine was coffee, cigarettes, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And funnily enough, that has become a Dave staple. I know you're not a big peanut butter fan, Chicken Man. You just, I can hear the cringe before you even did it.
I mean, I love peanut butter. What are we talking about?
I thought peanut butter was one of the things.
No.
Okay.
No. Peanut butter is S tier. Peanut butter. You're thinking of mustard.
Absolutely.
You're thinking of mustard.
Yeah, mustard. I could see mustard being a little odd. Like, there's cases where I can't imagine some things without mustard, but
There's not. For me, imagining something with mustard makes me want to vomit. The word is banned in my chat. You can try to type it. You can't.
I
It's
have.
against the law.
I remember
Peanut
the time
butter, though. Peanut butter is goated.
Before we got to be buddies as much, I remember there was a time where I was part of chat, just trolling along with chat, when it was like Flapjack, me, maybe Flair the Bird. I don't know. A bunch of us, we were trolling you a little bit. Just softcore. You're like,
Which chat trolling? No, dude. No,
Never
dude.
happens.
Why would they do that to me? All right, we should talk about this game a little bit. We've been really good about not doing that, but Nicarak's going to try to attack into 6 disruptors. And I'm not a fan of that decision.
Yeah.
We'll see how those splits are. Is this Jean-Claude Van Damme or what? Come on, Nicarak, give us the splits.
Oh no! Oh, look away, everybody!
GG. A 3-1 for the underdog.
Goblin.
Those disruptor
man.
balls.
Well, you can actually, we can say it, guys. Nicarak sure was gobbling on these nuts this time.
He was gobbling on these balls.
On these
Yeah,
balls.
big balls to the face.
Yep. Happens to the best of them.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What an ending to that tournament. That was a good one.
Yeah, there was the big build up, like with the armies. I felt like it was like 3-4 minutes of not much happening, and then it was just those balls getting right up in the. Ghost always looks so miserable next to disruptors.
No, they're like, "Hey, we EMP'd you," and the disruptors are like, "Oh, we don't care. You're dead."
Did the Marauders move forward? No. Oh.
Poor Nicarak, but at the same time, I will tell you guys, I just got Goblin laughing his ass off.
Good. That's good. I'm glad. Well, GG's, man. Goblin, I do feel like was an underdog for this one. We had a lot of great players in here, and Goblin takes it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple upsets going through the bracket. I think we'd expect Max Backs in the finals, but
yeah,
Nicarak showing he's got some TVP prowess.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still at least like, well, go.
He has got to be happy taking down Max Backs. That's a solid victory.
Well, we got everyone together. We do have Matcherino codes.
Yeah, we had a few of them left when I redeemed mine, so if you haven't done it yet, make sure you show your love.
I gotta say, they've been, we got 33. It's been a struggle on the Matcherino front lately.
But to just get the codes?
For codes. Yeah, I mean, no, I've had, honestly, in any tournament I have more people throw a few dollars in than use the codes. And it's free. I'm like, well, I appreciate the support for the players, or even if I'm like making a cap tournament, I'm like, yo, it's just going toward the prize. Pretty based.
Even the visit links, if they're there, just click them really quick while you're claiming the code, and it's, $50 towards the tournament, and it takes 20 seconds.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like doing these small tournaments, it makes such a difference in like the longevity, and like just shows that your community's really got your back.
Yeah, absolutely. So get those Matcherino codes going. ! Matcherino. I assume in all of our chats to get those Matcherino codes up. Hell yeah.
Yep. I just went along and did it to everybody's stuff. Guys, it's been awesome. Aniketos, are you planning on doing stream still? Chicken Man, you continuing on, or are you done for the day?
Oh, I am for sure done for the day. It's been a nice long stream.
I'm gonna do some ladder. I was gonna ladder for like 3 hours before, but then I ended up sleeping for 3 hours before. So I'm probably gonna ladder now. So
Sleep is better than ladder.
Yeah, always naps and then stream. Then